knowledgeable about stupid shit.
Yeah. Looking back though and reading through it again, you can clearly see the nascent kind of rise of this stupid shit there.
Oh, of course.
Like before it became like in full swing, you can see it. Like the seeds are there. So I'm Dr. Fraser Crane.
I'm Dr. Phil.
Nah. Fraser Crane is, even though he's just an actor character, still more of a doctor. I'm sorry, but Dr. Phil is annoying.
You know what pisses me off?
Hmm?
They got rid of the thing on the left where you could put the lower third down. So I can't like have Time Enforcer Anubis Otaku Mafia on my screen.
Oh yeah, well they wanted to get rid of the hangout altogether.
Well, yeah, which is stupid.
Sunrise, sunset.
Ridiculous.
Chair goes up, chair goes down. Chair goes up, chair
Okay, let me see if this link will cooperate.
It won't.
Hey, you know what happened as soon as you said it won't? Fucking disappeared.
The voodoo magic.
I managed to hit the copy button just as it disappeared. So let's see if I actually hit the mark. This is so ridiculous.
Hit the VZ Mark II.
You know, it's a good day when you well, number one, you know it's a good day when you find out you didn't hit the mark. You know, it's also a good day when you bring up your Twitter feed and immediately are exposed to furry porn.
So,
which I'm fine with, to be fair. It's like, this is someone I follow, so it's like, hey, cool.
So it's not Cody.
Yeah.
There was actually a kid I went to school with that name, and he was a little shit. He was one of those people that probably would qualify as a dwarf, but acted like he was a gangster rapper or some shit. By the way, he was white too.
Oh, of course.
Just so you know.
Actually, there was a kid I used to know. He was actually pretty cool. Like, him and I were on the golf team together.
Okay.
Named Cody, and he was pretty cool. Like, he and his boys, they had this like rap posse, quote unquote, but it was tongue in cheek. They called themselves DP, Dairy Posse.
I was thinking double penetration.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Jeez.
So one of them was Froyo, the other was Ice.
Froyo. Very nice. Oh, guys, did you see this? I'm gonna post it in the chat.
Copy.
Begging won't save you.
Don't you fall willing.
This guy, but at some point, he's just gonna walk around with his foot in his mouth.
I mean, I always thought he was an ass tart even before all this crap.
No, I got a better one.
No, he's an overly apologetic little, like,
washed up actor
with no spine.
You know what else?
I remember
this
whole thing where it was something going on with the Bernie Bros thing a while back, and I don't even know what was going on with that, but he was involved, and what ended up happening was, like, he had this whole long Medium post where it's like, and I can't not read the title. I gotta find this thing. Go on, because
I was gonna say, you know what else is a washed up?
A lot of people.
Shia LaBeouf.
Okay.
You know what he's been doing lately?
I don't care,
but it doesn't fucking matter to me.
Oh! You don't know? Oh.
Why would I know? I don't follow these creeps.
No! I got a good one for you. He's been doing that. He's been doing like this. He calls it an art project.
Of course.
Which means it isn't.
He's been doing several of these art projects, none of which are particularly interesting.
It's like he's being like recording himself in New York City. Looks like a fucking homeless man now. And he's doing he will not divide us. And of course, people naturally are trolling him.
I was gonna say, has he been mugged yet? I mean, you did say New York.
There was one guy that walked up to him. He's like, "Oh, how you doing?" And also Hitler did nothing wrong. He said that to him.
All right, not that, but I scrolled down on my Twitter and saw more furry porn, worse furry porn.
There was also someone talking about. Oh no! There was the guy.
Interesting timing.
Wait! The guy. There was one guy that walked up to that camera and he was talking about why Asuka is a better waifu than.
I saw people that. I saw that.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about. I just don't care.
No, I know, but it's just. Drawing girl. He will nut inside us.
What do you think?
Okay, so here's the title of this Medium article, and I can't not read it in this voice. I wasn't defending terrible behavior, but I understand why it seemed that way.
Yeah, put your bowling shirt back on, dude.
Hey, Nobis, I got an idea for your background if you're willing to dig out the said figure.
Which one?
Okay, well, as long as it's articulated, it could be anything. I was going to say that frame arm girl. Acronym. Frame arm girl. Yeah. I can't wait till when that anime hits. Oh, someone's going to mention. Someone's going to bring that up. But anyway, that or Figma, particularly one of the Love Live ones, because they have the extra butt that comes down.
The extra butt.
Yeah. Having them twerking, but put it on the stand.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's a twofer.
Look at them twerking. Have them twerking.
I'm sorry, but every time I hear twerking, every time I hear that term twerking, I can't help but think of that Basic Bitch skit.
Here's what bothers me about twerking, and then we'll get on to the show.
That people think it's like some kind of artsy dance.
No, not even that. First of all, I need to turn some of this shit down.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but if not, I'm gonna say it.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at like rap culture from the late 90s, twerking had been a thing in the black community for like a decade. But as soon as Miley Cyrus started twerking, now twerking is this huge thing.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I freaking noticed that. Like how as soon as some white girl starts twerking, now twerking is this huge thing that everyone's big up on. When if you watched a rap video from 1999, you probably have seen twerking.
Well,
I'm so culturally enriched by doing twerking.
No, you would think it would be the opposite. You'd think some white chick doing it would make it just really unpopular. No, you'd think it'd make it completely. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, I'm so culturally enriched.
If by that you mean an assault victim,
with the African American community by twerking.
Yeah, sure you do. Because that's totally a thing that was really popular in Africa.
All right, we ready?
Yes,
I was born ready, sir.
Good. Yeah. And let me get the intro queued up. There we go.
See, that should be a slogan for a fucking ED pill.
I was born ready, sir.
Well, maybe not with the sir. That just makes it sound like some kind of military gloating or something.
Right. Give me 1 second, then we'll start.
Shaking your ass is very culturally enriching.
All right, let's roll.
I know what I'm going to say.
Wait. Are we doing the intro?
We're doing the intro.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Let's get away from the word obsession. Start using the word passion.
At least Fa's cute, unlike some other characters.
She is okay.
Also, the adventures of Pedo Bear and Shrine Miko.
It's like, who the fuck watches anime and emulates it in this way? I want to know who watched Akira and then thought they could drive a motorcycle and like, you know, beat on people and shit.
I recommend Photokano. It's really good. I mean, I like
Might actually be
too.
a bad thing for me to watch Photokano when I'm getting into photography because I get ideas.
Take pictures of girls.
Yeah. It's like I don't know what they're talking about, but I can tell they're really into it. Tom Force, what it is.
Okay, gods. VC Mark II.
You're listening to NTR Radio.
Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Force Anubis.
I'm K-Odds.
And I'm your deplorable, degenerate albinoid VZ Mark II.
Albinoid? Really?
That's right!
Yard! So, how's everybody doing?
Good.
I'm actually pretty upset.
Uh-oh. Anubis is upset.
The Mad episode number, whatever number this is.
That's gonna come later. But I'm coming off of a 12-hour marathon yesterday, which involved me. So here's the story. I'm sitting in the seat, trying to play some Phantom Crash for the Xbox. And I got my computer running on the second screen naturally, just because I have that all the time. And I got a blue screen. I'm like, okay. Computer restarts. Everything seems fine. I go back to trying to play Phantom Crash. Well, actually, no, I wasn't playing Phantom Crash. I was playing Growlancer. Phantom Crash was later when I was trying to fix shit. But
you couldn't resist the Satoshi Urushihara art.
Listen, I don't even play friggin' JRPGs, but the truth be told, the reason I got friggin' where is it? Growlancer Generations for the PS2 was because Satoshi Urushihara does the artwork.
By the way, I have an art book with all his stuff from Langrisser and all that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually
it's amazing that I knew about Langrisser like before I knew who Satoshi Urushihara was. I knew about that game, even though I never played it, but I knew about because I used to the magazine Game Fan.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they had the pretty artwork in there.
The thing is, what's interesting is the original one that came out on the Genesis that we did get. That they kind of repurposed moniker.
No, this was actually.
Hang on.
I'm sorry.
Repurposed its moniker as Warsong.
Yeah.
And they also tweaked it quite a bit. Like the character portraits look a lot less anime-ish.
Yeah,
that's right.
Which to be fair, looks kind of stupid on some of them. Like they also changed the color of the hair for the Sabra character too for some reason. And they made her hair pink even though it was more of a purpley kind of color. I don't know what that was about.
Weird.
I guess because they think pink's more girly or something. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But the cover looks completely like kind of like Franz Frazetta art or something.
Oh yeah, Frank Frazetta art.
Frank Frazetta, my bad. Why did I say Franz? I was thinking of Franz Schubert or something.
Yeah. That's the same thing like the art for
Fantasy Star, yeah. So
actually all the fantasy
those were terrible, by the way. No, those games were fine, but those covers were not representative of what kind of games they were.
Although there is a certain like charm in art where it's like that something of like something that existed at that time was having Americanized art that didn't look like what was actually in the game.
Yeah, I mean the same was true with Breath of Fire.
And of course, the famous Mega Man NES cover.
Naturally.
Yeah, that thing is painful to look at.
Oh, but anyway, I was saying the Langrisser ones that were in the magazine were for the PCFX.
Oh, okay, yeah. The TurboGrafx 16?
It was
equivalent. No, that was PC Engine.
Yeah, PC. No, it might have been part of the same thing, but it was a CD based system.
Right. Was it like an add-on like the 32X or something?
No, it was its own thing. It was very an otaku system.
Yeah.
And it was all like very anime games.
Okay. I was going to say, was it just like one of those disappearing things like the 3DO?
It wasn't very popular, but because it came out late, which I think it came out in had to been like 94, which means or 95, which means the PlayStation.
Which also means the other 16-bit systems were putting out like Donkey Kong Country, which was probably just raping it.
Well, this wasn't a 16-bit system. This was had it been 32-bit, but it was like when full motion video was on a big thing.
Yeah, that was one of the big selling points. The original PlayStation was really.
I just remember being
pimping out.
Besides the Langrisser art, I also was really enthralled by and it was only one picture, but I just remember really liking the character design. If you ever heard of Graduation,
not ringing a bell, but I might have.
All right, Media Blast has put out the weird side story Graduation that they did.
Okay,
where they're robot pilots.
Okay, that doesn't that narrows it down.
Yeah, but the Graduation game that I'm talking about actually did come out for Windows with terrible dub voicing. It's you can actually go on I think JList or something. So if you could actually see it still there.
Oh, if you want to. Speaking of terrible dub voices, now I know the reasoning why, but it doesn't excuse it. Mega Man 8.
Oh.
Whew. Yikes. For those who haven't, go out there and look up some clips from the domestic version of Mega Man 8. You are probably going to want earplugs. It's one of those things like the original Birdie the Mighty dub.
Right.
To where it's actually, there are parts of it that are legitimately wince-inducing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We were kind of right. It was a system from NCE.
Okay.
It came out December of 1994, just weeks after Sony's PlayStation and a month after Saturn. So
okay.
It never came out here. So
okay.
Naturally.
Well, no doubt in Japan it probably got stomped by the Saturn. Which is probably the only place it really did all that well.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It was a perfectly good system.
Perfectly good system, had fantastic games on it.
We didn't get any of them, but
we got a whole lot of the good ones.
I mean,
we got Virtual Law, and we got the really good arcade ports we got, and it's the dying era of the arcade ports, which never should have died. But
oh wow, Team Innocent. I remember seeing the picture of that. It's if you took half. It's if you took half Evangelion and Bubblegum Crisis,
right?
The plug suits, and
right?
The hard and the whatever the suits were in
what the hell were they called? They were called the Night Sabers, but
yeah.
I can't think of what they called them now.
Well, I know the bikes were the slave armor, or something like that.
Right. I'm having this is pathetic because I've seen it so many times and I can't remember it.
But anyway, yeah, it's those two things combined, design wise. Jesus.
Right. Well, how about this? The Saturn, I remember this is the thing that killed me. I mean, I didn't get one because they were couldn't find them hardly at the time. And B, all the games that I wanted never came out here.
Right.
If you like JRPGs and things like that, we got screwed hard. We got like some of the Shining stuff, which I don't think Tony Taka is doing the art yet. But we also we got Shining Force 3, but we only got the first scenario. There was 3 different ones, and we only got the first one. It was just like, wow, way to screw everybody over.
Well, are you talking about Genesis or
Saturn?
Saturn. Oh, Saturn. Okay. Yeah. They really
They screwed the pooch on that because they tried to market it the same way they did the Genesis with all the arcade ports and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't meant for that.
Well,
that system.
Well, the Saturn not made for arcade ports?
Okay.
How many Saturn arcade ports have you played? And then go back and play those in the arcade and tell me it isn't 1-to-1.
Okay. I should have rephrased, but no, a lot of people when they talk about Saturn, they say it's really good for shooters.
Well, the other thing though is the
ostensibly are arcade ports.
The thing is though is, and this was a problem that I think Sega had as a company, not in Japan, but over here, Sega of America. Yeah, they kind of neglected the audience who actually really likes Japanese style games.
Well, they were dealing with that one president at the time of Sega of America, who like specifically said that people don't want these games, even though they did.
Yeah. Now I had a Sega and a SNES. I got the Sega first, but I had both of them, so I knew the difference in the kinds of games that they really excelled at. Whereas since the Genesis had the speed element, a lot of the faster, again, arcade ports and like racing games and things like that were way better on it because they were much more because it ran so much faster. Whereas if you were looking more for platformers, RPGs, and such, the SNES carried on all the regular NES hits,
right,
and a lot of stuff like that.
Oh,
and then, of course, there was multi-platform ones too, and some of those were kind of awkward because they were too different. I mean, the biggest one I can think of is some of the Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah.
I got to test to that for having the Genesis version of Genesis and Game Gear versions of both Mortal Kombat 1 and 2.
Yeah, which is interesting because 2 actually was probably done better on the SNES because it had more of the bells and whistles. It had the voice.
I know.
And whatnot, but the original one was definitely better on the Genesis, not just because of the blood code, but it played a lot smoother.
The only thing was it had less frames of animation,
but it didn't have the voice announcing and things like that. But it had more. It was faster and didn't feel as clunky. And of course, as long as you knew the blood code, you didn't get like these really nerfed finishers.
I just loved on the news at the time, like they were showing those, and they were showing like the kid that was able to put in the code, and it's like, oh, it's so shocking. Oh, no. It's like
they really went.
It's like Itchy and Scratchy now. It's like that's how. It's like watching Itchy and Scratchy now.
I've got a little piece of trivia for you guys, and I'm sure you probably knew about this or read about this somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's about the blood code. Do you remember it?
This is before my time.
B-A-B.
Wait, I couldn't hear him. What were you saying there?
B-A-B.
No.
Something. Oh, okay.
It was A-B-A. Wait, wasn't it? Yeah, A-B-A-C-A-B-B. Because it was Abacab. And the reason, because it was a joke, because of there's an album by the band Genesis called Abacab. Which was A-B-A-C-A-B. But you just added an extra B.
Right.
And then it like turned blood red.
Yes.
Everybody knew that. Every single person who had it knew it, of course. If you didn't, someone at school was more than willing to tell you.
Oh, of course.
Don't you? I mean, I don't miss it, but there was sort of a charm in that when you'd go to
The
school.
Game Gear had their own code too, by the way.
Right. I didn't play handhelds. I got piss poor eyesight. So
I know. I'm just saying.
Anyway,
you aren't missing anything, by the way.
no, clearly not. But no, that was one of those times that was one of the things that was kind of charming about the time. You'd go to school, you'd trade codes and things with friends because this was pre-internet, really. A lot of the time, and you'd have to ask people about how to do certain things. Wait a minute. Ikari Warriors Nest continue code. Oh yeah, here's one that I bet most people don't remember. The Double Dragon 2 continue code. I don't remember it because I could never remember it. And by the time I'd put it in, it would be too late, and I could never do it. Because it's one of those things you'd die off, and then you'd have to put in the code really quick before the game over screen kind of finished or whatever. It was time release, sort of. You know what I mean? To where if you weren't fast enough, it didn't work.
Oh yeah, I remember those type of codes. I was really upset.
The one for Sonic 3 was a bitch.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember what the exact one was.
Not the code, the actual actually inputting it in though, because you had to do it before the thing like bounced or whatever. I can't remember. It made like this slight little jingle. Anubis might remember.
No, I don't remember.
Oh, come on, man. You're killing me, man.
Nope.
Was the code?
You're killing me, Smalls.
Listen, I was stuck on that barrel for how long? You think I remember any of the codes to these video games?
That had to be one of the most head beating against the wall when you figured it out moments. Like, yeah.
That's how it felt.
It's just
See, I never really had that problem with that, but I know other people had.
Well, it's probably because you were smart when playing Sonic the Hedgehog 3 instead of my stupid ass.
You just go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah, I was jumping. I was trying to time my jumps right, time the landing, so it'd get that little bit of momentum down, and then I would try to jump, like shoot the gap, and I couldn't do that, and I ran out of time. And I'd say, you know what, fuck Carnival Light, fuck this level, fuck everyone who made this level.
I don't like that level, to be fair.
I just don't like that level in general. Like,
no, I don't either.
Barrel aside,
however,
it's a I don't like that level.
Zone was the shit.
It was Ice Cap Zone, man. That was the cool one from Sonic 3.
I also really like. I love the music for what was it? Hydro Fortress Zone.
Hydro City.
Hydro City.
Dun 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 dun.
Now, here's the question: is it Hydro City or Hydrocity? Because I always said Hydro City.
Yeah, me too.
I always thought like, okay, it's a city and there's water in it, Hydro City. Yeah. But I've like recently I've heard people say Hydrocity. I'm like, huh.
Well, to be fair, this one is just pure stupidity though. I heard somebody remember when Mortal Kombat Trilogy came out? That was kind of a thing for about 5 seconds.
Yes.
But there was some dumbass kid in my junior high that kept saying triology, and I just wanted to strangle the motherfucker.
That's not the way that. That's not the way.
There's not an extra O in this.
Triology.
That's not the way that word is pronounced. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. This is not negotiable. I mean, this is not one of those Caribbean type things. It's one of those just no, you're saying it wrong. No, but yeah, Ice Cap Zone was always my favorite from the original 6 levels.
I also really like, but if we're talking about the Knuckles part,
Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah, which is the only way to really play it.
I love the music for
Flying Battery.
Yeah, very good.
That entire level.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I bet if you transpose that from MIDI to just like a really ripping distorted guitar, it would sound really cool.
Oh yeah.
What came after that level?
That's a good point.
Okay.
It was the Mushroom
Hill. So Angel Island, Hydro City, Marble Garden, Casino Night,
No, Carnival Night.
Carnival Night.
Ice Cap
Ice
Zone.
Cap,
Ice Cap.
Launch Base.
Yes.
And then it was Mushroom
Hill.
Flying
Flying
Battery.
Battery. Mushroom Hill, Flying Battery.
It wasn't. Oh, it was Sandopolis.
Sandopolis. Then
The
Lava
really
Reef.
Fuck that level,
Yeah.
by the way.
Takes 9
You know
minutes.
what? I didn't really have that much trouble with Sandopolis.
I just don't like. It's not hard. It's just too slow.
The
It's
only
not-
part I had trouble with was when you're inside the pyramid and there's that part where it loops. And
Oh,
and you
yeah, and
don't
if
know
you're
until you've looped 3 times,
And then
need
you
to
start
figure it out.
realizing you're continually doing the same thing. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's one of those levels that like takes the full 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like
And then
about
by
it.
the time you get to Robotnik, it's like
It's just,
you're
I'm
just
really
like-
sick of this level.
Yeah, exactly.
no, it's not that you're sick. It's like
I was sick of
only
it.
I'm
have-
sick of the level.
you only have like a minute left.
No, I was just really sick of the level because, again, Sonic games I shouldn't go into the puzzles. That doesn't work for me with those.
Then there was the
Lava Reef.
Lava Reef.
Lava Reef. Lava Reef Hidden Palace, because that's like the second
Part of it, yeah.
of that zone.
Then you went
Then
into the
it's
sky,
Sanctuary,
And then the Death Egg.
and then it's Death Egg,
and then of course Doomsday
and then
Zone,
Doomsday Zone.
which had really cool music, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Dun, 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 dun.
it's that. Yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the only Sonic game that I can name all the levels in sequence like that.
You
Like,
can't do that for 2.
I can't do that for 2. No, because I know
Well-
it's Emerald Hill, then
It's
Chemical Plant
Chemical Plant, which everybody knows the music to that one too.
naturally,
I hope.
Ancient
then Aquatic Ruin,
Aquatic Ruin.
Casino Night,
and then it's Casino Night,
which is
and
way cooler than Carnival Night.
Hilltop Zone.
infinitely.
Then-
Okay,
then
Hilltop
Mystic
comes
Cave,
after, then Mystic Cave.
Yeah, Mystic Cave.
Oil
then-
Ocean, which is my least favorite.
I actually like Oil Ocean.
I don't like all the platforms and oh yeah, and fuck them seahorses.
Yeah, seahorses can kiss my ass.
Because they pop out of nowhere, they're hard to avoid even
It's-
if you're good at the game.
It's a Saudi Arabia level.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's got the desert in the background. It's got the like pseudo-Arabian music, and there's oil everywhere. I mean,
Yeah, and
It's-
Dr.
it's-
Robotnik is
it's hard to not notice the comparison.
I can name all the No wait, can I for the first one?
There was only 6.
I don't think I've
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever beat the first one. I've never beat the first one.
Oh, that's
Well, the
easy.
first one, I mean, it's so easy. It's just getting all the Chaos Emeralds is a little.
Well, yeah, that's always
that
the
can
hard
actually,
part.
That can actually be a bitch in part 2 if you don't get rid of Tails.
Yeah, it's easier just.
While you're
Who
trying
plays with Sonic and Tails? There's no reason to do that.
because
ever.
he'll fuck you over every time.
He's always that one split second late in the special stage.
And the bomb
runs into
nails
all the
ya.
bombs, and because you and him share rings, you always
Then you want to strangle him.
yeah,
It's
and
like,
then
motherfucker.
you want to strangle him with his own 2 tails because he's running into all the bombs. He's a dumbass.
Damn
Yeah.
AI.
What you do is you play as just Tails because
Or
he's
Sonic
small.
if you're going to.
Well, I say just Tails because he's smaller, and I've tested this, and it works in Sonic 3 at least. There are some spikes that come out from the ceiling that will hit Sonic, but don't come out long enough to hit Tails.
Interesting.
I think we should kind of
Okay.
move
Okay.
Yeah. So continuing with this saga.
on. Last word. Well, actually, both of you guys look up the PCFX later,
Will
and
do.
they'll
Alright.
say, so that's a cool system that we were kind of denied of.
But yeah,
Okay,
so
let-
I'm trying to play Growl Lancer, and the computer's fucking up. And so I go into the thing, and evidently it's something happening with the drivers for the SSD that my operating system is installed on.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, that's a problem. If this thing doesn't work, then nothing else will work on my computer. So I run out, buy a new SSD, come back, install that, try to install Windows. That goes fine, but it won't it won't update to the latest install of Windows, so my graphics card won't work properly. That's a problem. So then I have to fish out my huge ass laptop and burn off a new Windows 10 CD to install that, and now everything's working fine, except now I have to reinstall all my programs and shit because it's a new drive.
So that pretty much sounds like a pain in the ass.
This was a 12-hour marathon of going in between. Okay, is this gonna work? No, and while I was on the first Windows install, for some reason it wouldn't boot up into Windows without the little flash drive I have Windows installed on, but it was installed on the SSD. But it wouldn't. So it was just a whole bunch of problems that I really didn't want to deal with. Ended up going to bed at like 5:30 a.m. After getting it down pat. Okay, we're good here. This isn't gonna ruin itself again. It was a bunch of shit that I really did not have to.
Maybe we should talk about some of the anime we watched.
So let's talk about some of the anime we watched, because I'm remarkably less upset about that.
Okay, I'll let you guys go first, but I'll talk about after.
Go ahead, because I didn't actually watch all that much of new stuff.
I am caught up with Maid Dragon.
Oh, okay. I want to interject. Anubis, I want to apologize.
Okay, let it be known, in the ongoing saga of me being right, Maid Dragon is in fact the shit. It
was like after that first episode, it was actually pretty funny.
Isn't that show fucking hilarious?
The loli I really like the loli. She helped.
We should get a drop in of her saying Naturare.
Yes, and then,
I am all for this. I think this needs to be done. I think we're all in favor of this.
Excellent.
The subtitle said cuckold.
Yes.
There was also the blonde in the third episode.
Yep.
With the huge knockers.
The size of her head. But I actually really like Kobayashi herself.
Oh yeah.
I love how she's just that really deadpan.
I was intending
until she's drunk.
Yeah. She's one of those passionate drunks.
I was intending to watch this. It's on my docket, but I didn't get around to it. I just kind of had some business.
Yeah, you'll at least get a chuckle.
Well, now you have the endorsement of both me and VZ.
And the girlfriend,
who finally came around to me being right about this show.
There's they've been adapting that person's manga. It's Cool Kyo Shinja, by the way. That's the mangaka. They've been adapted. It's the same one that did
something.
Kobayashi. No, wait. Komari-san.
Oh, okay.
She did. I think it's a she. I'm not sure. She did Komari. Yeah. Komari-san wa Koto wa na. That was a short. They did. I don't understand what my husband is saying. I need to watch it.
I like the title of that one.
Yeah.
That's because they married him for a green card. Dun dun dun.
There was something else. I think they adapted.
I'm so gonna get it for that.
But there's a manga. This needs to be fucking adapted. For all those who like chubby anime girls like me, this needs an adaptation. Like now. I am gonna butcher the fuck out of this title.
Ready with the drop in. Vote of confidence.
Wow, and I can't find it, man. Oh wait, let me go back to. Maybe I put it in the. God, I hate when I do this shit.
Okay,
okay, I got it.
Good. I was about to hit you with the fail horn.
Okay, Metsuko ni Yoroshiku, and it looks kind of like a Shakana Shana type thing, but with a chubby girl with glasses.
So if Shauna had too many Oreos,
like a sort of Bleach or Shakana Shana type thing.
Right.
All right.
but it's a chubby girl with glasses.
This gets right to what I was going to say. How about that Gabriel Dropout? Yeah, I've been watching that too.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm all caught up with that one too.
I didn't like the third episode as much as the first two.
It was like a 4 instead of a 5
Yeah,
But yeah, it seemed a little more. Well, I don't know. The humor didn't hit as hard for me.
Although I did like
Same
the
here.
thing with the light bars.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those were pretty funny. And like how she just kind of lifts it up and like what would normally be a cooch shot.
Yeah. But I also like the fact like she's just so uninterested in her job.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Like she's just like, I only work 1 day a week. Wham, leave. Yeah, I thought that was funny. And then that Satania actually pops in there and it pops in there just to fuck with her.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't even want any coffee. She just kind of wants the dick with her. I found that funny. And how trollish is Raphael?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anubis, are you caught up with Seiren?
I am not.
Okay.
That's the one I forgot. I know I was forgetting something.
I wish it was a little bit like I wish it was a little bit better. I mean, I still watching it watchable, and don't get me wrong. It's not hitting the way like Furokano or even Amagami.
Well, yeah, it gave me that impression from the beginning, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we know. Here's the thing: you don't like the particular arc. You don't like what's going on. You know that it's going to reset every 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's not going to get that stale.
Right.
Well, a lot of people seem to like the main girl. And I get it, but I want to see some of the other ones too.
Same here.
But I actually want to talk about. Okay, 2 things. One, I actually picked up Akiba's Trick, the animation.
Okay, I am not fully caught up with that one. How are you enjoying it?
I'm actually liking that one. The blonde is my favorite character.
Yeah.
In that, she's Finnish. But nah, I like the humor. It's very otaku based.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's Akiba Ohara. It reminds me of a Trigger anime almost. It has a Trigger style feel, even though it's from Gonzo.
Sort of. So
Yeah.
I get what you're going for with it though.
Yeah. Okay, but I actually want to talk about something new I picked up because this is something I've been waiting for. And
before you did that, I did watch one more show.
Okay.
I picked up because a lot of people were talking about this one, Scum's Wish.
Oh, okay. I've heard about that. How is that?
It's okay. Like I'm not even sure if I'm gonna finish it, but it comes off to me as sort of it has an art style similar to something like, I want to say Hatsukoi Limited, but I'm not sure. But the character designs aren't.
I'll look into that.
Like
'Cause-
it's like they took Hatsukoi Limited's art style
Yeah.
and took like the whole air of sensuality that it does with the characters and how it shows them on screen and whatnot out of that, except for like certain scenes. So like the whole premise is these 2 characters and they're each in love with someone, but that person doesn't love them back. So both these characters like kind of
unrequited
love.
Yeah.
So both of these main characters kind of use each other as surrogates for that other person that they can't have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 3 episodes in. So far it's like every episode they're lamenting about how and my feelings and all this stuff, and 2 characters almost have sex but don't. And so it would be more impactful to me if the show had that ongoing air of sensuality outside of those scenes as well. And number two is that for some reason, and I don't know why, I just can't invest myself in these characters yet. Which that's something like it's not like that hasn't happened with this kind of anime before, because like I watched Say I Love You and I was invested in that from the beginning, but for some reason it's like I just can't get that much into these characters and whatever's going on. So I might continue with that one, I might not, but
sounds like a take it or leave it. That's kind of like what happened with me and Demi-chan, where I couldn't get that into the show itself, like that with the characters. It just felt kind of take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I actually want to talk about Bang Dream. Because so far
Did
2
you?
episodes.
Whose dream?
It's the one I'm banging.
Of course.
Okay.
Naturally.
I've heard people describe this, and it's pretty accurate, a description. It's pretty much very much like K-On! In Love Live.
Right. I actually have heard that.
But the thing is, it doesn't have what makes either of those shows really charming. And so it comes off trying really hard, trying to be like what those shows had, that special something, but not, but kind of missing the mark.
Right.
I don't know what it. Well, I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not doing it as well as either of those. I'm gonna give it another episode, but if it kind of has that stagnate feeling, I won't have a problem dropping it, since I have a lot this season anyway. It's just nothing like really that special, even though like I've heard the music before, like that came out, and the music's pretty good for it. But it's just, the show's just not, there's the better examples of stuff that it's done.
Right.
One thing I picked up, I actually watched the 4th OVA of this amusing hentai thing called Toshi Densetsu.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I need to see that one.
I like the 3rd one a lot because it had this Shota that just like this ghost girl preyed on.
Yeah.
I need to see that one too.
I love the first 2.
But the 4th one, it's still a ghost story, of course.
Naturally.
But it's more she just kind of appears and they do things. It's a little repetitive in the animation, but but she's so cute, I didn't care. If you want, I can post some links in the chat.
I downloaded that. I haven't watched it yet, but I downloaded that new
yay or nay.
Go ahead.
That Shota Trap hentai that came out.
Which one is that? Because I'm gonna have to get at it too.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it has translated yet. I just downloaded the raw. Otoko no Ko Delivery.
Oh yeah, I think I heard something about that.
Yeah, it's like supposed to be like the new Boko no Pico. Like,
okay,
big shoes to fill.
No, not really. They're pretty small. Okay, I'm sorry. I deserve. Okay, I'm just gonna put the link. But if it won't throw your system off, go ahead and look at the linky.
There's also the 2 shorts, One Room, which is voyeuristic. I don't.
It's actually voyeuristic, is
yes.
K-On!, which is not.
And My Italian Cooking, for personal ethnic reasons.
Personal ethnic reasons.
Yeah. So maybe in 5 years, Anubis will get his Jamaican cooking anime.
Yeah, I'm on.
We'll
I did pick up 2 shows. Like pick up 2 shows as in DVD sets.
Will Mrs. Cleo be involved? Hopefully, our viewers even privy enough to get that.
Who still knows who?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Will people even get that?
She hasn't been a thing for years.
She didn't see that coming.
No, but I remember an MTV sketch that involved people calling in for her. It's like, how come you didn't know about 9/11?
I just remember the one time Dave Chappelle spoofed Miss Cleo. I was like,
That
call me now for your Bomberclad reading. Lot of mercy.
Yeah, where he says, you're going back to jail for the same shit you pulled last time. Something like that. Yeah, that was funny.
So
Isn't Miss Cleo dead?
I know she got like sued.
Jail time?
Yeah, I know she did some time in jail.
I know the one Sylvia, Psychic Sylvia, she died.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I don't even know about. So that's
long growth fingernails.
She was just
all my time.
She used to be on Montel Williams a lot.
All the time. Yeah.
And because all her predictions were like so off
and vague and shit.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, no, that too. But she thought that there was gonna be a black pope.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Seems pretty random.
But yeah, I picked up 3 disc sets.
Oh, okay. This should be good.
1 and 2 of Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere.
I got the first season of that.
Cool.
Because I figured, you know what, I really need to actually finish this show, so I figured I might as well pick up the whole thing.
Come on,
Go ahead.
You just wanted to look at big tits.
I need to
watch the show in the first place.
I should check that out.
Column A and column B, man.
I should check that out one day.
It's really good. I
know it's really weird, but
yeah, it's really weird, and you're probably not gonna understand what's going on at all for like the first 4 episodes. But if you keep with it through that, it's actually really rewarding. And then I picked up all of Mahoromatic.
Oh, okay. Speaking of Gynax bouncing,
yeah,
yeah. Mahoromatic. I think the scene that. I mean, I know it's not predominantly a comedy. I guess it kind of is, but
Gynax and Shaft.
But the scene that killed me was the Sele reference.
Oh yeah,
where it has the things there.
The monoliths.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the monoliths. Yeah, exactly. Where it's clearly supposed to be, kind of a nod to that. And the one dude even looks like Gendo sitting there, just kind of like.
Now the best anime that parodied that scene was in Umaru-chan. Only it was like all the different Umarus.
Oh yeah.
And the one was holding 2 hands on sticks, and then doing the Gendo thing.
Yeah,
but they're on sticks.
Vesper, LOL. Yeah, that was the name of the organization. I always thought the teacher was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Just like, first off, that's how you know this is anime and not real life, because in real life, she would have got dicked hard.
Gotten arrested.
well, yeah, but probably would have been fucked first.
Naturally.
Come on, man. There's horny guys out there. But yeah, then she probably would have got arrested. Geez, you think?
So yeah, hilariously enough. So I named my hard drives after anime characters.
Yep.
So I need a new name for this new hard drive since apparently our Dorothy is fucking up. So I named this one Horizon Aria Dust.
Huh,
I'm rewatching the show anyway, so I figure I might as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, interestingly enough, I named my computer Kimi.
Oh, good call.
Yep. Because she was my favorite character from that show. Not even for the obvious reasons.
I saw a thing on your Twitter, Anubis. You're talking about that you liked 2000 Era Harems.
Yeah, mid-level early 2000s harem anime.
You would really, really like this one from 2000, Handmaid May.
Oh, I remember that name of that.
I remember the name of that. Haven't.
It was actually pretty good. Great opening. I fucking love that opening song.
Yeah, I'm currently in the process of rewatching Happy Lesson.
I remember,
which if you didn't know, that would sound kind of.
I remember really not liking the character designs for that one, but again, it might have been just
the character designs in that show.
It might have been just the really bad screenshot that when Mike Toole had his review site pointed out, I was like, that's the one where they're all like teachers.
Yeah.
I think one of I know this isn't probably what you're thinking of, but the biggest harem kind of like go-to one I usually go to when I'm describing something, or obviously you could use Love Hina, but
of course,
but that's not what I was going to use. Usually I use Shuffle as kind of the baseline, because
Shuffle's kind of the same thing.
I vowed to. Oh, okay, continue. I'm sorry.
More of an Asa guy in that show, which I know I'm in the minority, but
Kaede since day one.
I had a feeling you would say that.
Never gonna forgive Homeboy for what he did to that girl.
What's the name of the lolly one again?
Primola, the which might be the funniest joke in the entire thing. When the one guy sees her, and he's hugging her and just kind of keeping her out of the rain.
Yeah,
and he's just like, "Oh, so that's your type." Like that is one of the most amusing, like I'm going to kill you moments.
I need to
put it this way: I couldn't finish Shuffle after that whole arc with Kaede.
No,
still haven't finished it.
Ouch.
I need to one day check out all of Da Capo.
Same here, because that's another like big one that I missed out on.
Didn't
they just publish the game here recently?
Yeah, the game has come out here, I believe.
Manga Gamer,
I have to get on that. Have another visual novel that I'm not going to finish for 7 years.
I like the character designs for that. I need to.
Well. Hey, Trump still might be president then. You never know. We're mercifully we'll keep that to a minimum.
I type in Da Capo on Google and it comes out with restaurants. So I'm looking for Google.
And at the bottom, a bunch of things about images that have been removed. I don't know that. I'm just being a smartass.
Any other 2000s era harems we should? I know one about. It's not a very good one, but it is an early one I saw from 2006. And it's all right to watch once. Now I gotta look at my.
I know a really generic, basic one. Mabarajo.
Yep.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember Kage Kara Mamoru.
I think I've heard of that one, but I've never seen it.
It's a ninja harem
But
with possibly the dumbest anime girl ever.
Well, that's up for debate.
Wow, this girl's not functioning at all. Also really likes bananas.
Yeah. You mean like the girl in Girls Bravo? or the one in Kiss Sis? Kiss Sis.
Well, the
chocolate banana.
Also, well, she sings the banana song. She has a banana song.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Mabarajo. That's what I need to actually go back and see if it's worth finishing.
In my opinion, that's almost too generic to really. I don't know. That I actually did see that one, but
the thing about it is, like, all of these are shows that I watched way back in the day. Like,
did you watch the sampler?
No.
I'm pretty sure that was one of them.
Anime on Demand.
Okay.
Like, I had the Anime Network on Demand, and I would just every morning I would get up and just watch anime.
Because I think this was on like one of those New Type USA sampler packs.
Yeah. What I
that's how I
did see
saw it
in that
originally.
New Type USA sampler pack was the first episode of Comic Party Revolution.
Oh, okay.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask that because I actually remember seeing the episode of Comic Party on
I actually
Type.
rewatched that completely a couple months ago.
How is comic? First off, does that count as harem?
Yeah, I realistically at least the first series focused more on the whole making a doujinshi and attending Comic-Con angle than the harem angle.
Right.
Plus like red-haired girl is this guy's girlfriend. So I don't know if it would count as a harem or not. There's not a lot of girls though.
I think Estrella from Sorano Toshimono is the dumbest anime girl. Yeah, she's pretty dumb. She's lovable, but she's pretty dumb.
That's another one I need to finish.
How about sometimes you'll watch something that's not a harem, but like a guy slowly starts building one. Anyway, Gundam Seed is guilty of this, particularly Gundam Seed Destiny, because like even in the intro where you see Atherin there's like 4 girls or more like kind of just like surrounding him and like
hey, Zeta.
Well,
Zeta
the same thing happens in Code Geass, as a matter of fact.
Exactly.
Zeta Gundam could be a harem too.
Not as bad as this.
Camille.
Yeah, not even close.
Well, we know 4. There was that one annoying bitch.
Yeah,
Rosamia.
Not Fa.
Rosamia.
Crazy bitch.
Rosamia, that's her name.
Crazy sky is falling bitch.
The first thing I ever saw Gundam because that was my Gapland kit. So that's how I'll always remember that.
The fact that he wasn't really feeling it with Fa is kind of weird to me.
I mean, she's okay, but like there are
terrible pilot, but
number of and to be fair, my perspective might be skewed by the fact that she pilots the Methus.
Another potential harem, Dangayo. He's got 3 girls and one guy and 3 girls.
Well, I mean, okay.
And I just probably pissed off. He doesn't listen to the show, but MD Chaos. It's probably just banging. It's like no.
I'm saying though, Code Geass. I mean, C2, Colin, Shirley, the one girl from the Chinese Federation, the one girl from Kyoto.
Yeah.
That's at least 5 right there.
Well, the one thing that cracks me up about Code Geass when I kind of do the
possibly a sister,
right? Yeah. The retrospect kind of looking back at it, though. I mean, again, not really spoiling too much, but the most interesting transformation to me of a character between both seasons is fucking Orange.
Yes.
Like he starts off as pretty lame and pathetic, but then he turns into this fucking psychotic cyborg.
Yeah, he starts off as the friggin'
kind of a lame-o.
Yeah, this butt monkey can't get anything done right.
Yeah, it keeps fucking up, constantly on under everybody's boot, surprisingly not executed.
Yeah, exactly. And by the end of the show, he's amazing.
Like he's this fucking crazy.
Like the beginning of the show, he gets tricked into ruining his own career.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he doesn't even know. And then by the end of the show, he's just this.
He's like part cyborg.
He's this amazing cyborg dude with this giant mobile armor. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this at all.
Easily the most holy shit character.
All right, I think we should take a break.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Time for the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio.
I'll be right back.
Solid copy. And then this button. I wonder if I did what I said I was going to do and actually put the Sonic the Hedgehog soundtracks in this thing. I probably didn't because I'm stupid, but...
Do you have music?
Well, I have music.
Okay.
I just want to know if I'm... Yep. I didn't put them in there. So I have music. It's just not the music I necessarily wanted to play, because the music I wanted to play would have related to that entire Sonic thing we went on throughout the whole thing, but evidently it's not going to happen. So let's see.
Enjoy some Charles Mingus.
Start playing friggin' Conway Twitty.
Please don't.
I don't listen. I didn't know who Conway Twitty was, and realistically, I still really don't know who Conway Twitty is. All of my Conway Twitty knowledge comes from Family Guy.
Yeah, guy with a bad haircut.
Conway Twitty. Oh, you got me the greatest gift of all. The complete Boz Scaggs. How did you know?
How did you know? I just had a feeling. That's one of the most bizarre fucking jokes. Like,
let's turn this down a bit.
Another piece of trivia. That was Norm Macdonald.
Yep.
And it's the only episode I think he did Death's voice on.
Yep.
Because Adam Carolla
took over.
To be fair, I think Norm Macdonald would have been better. I don't know. His voice actually strikes me as funnier in that capacity.
Right. I will be right back.
Yes, indeed. Leto missed the boat that day.
I'm back.
Okay.
Actually, I need to move this lemonade because I almost fell over it when I got up, which would have been hilarious to see on camera.
Lemonade.
Time Enforcer Noob is getting up and just doing this pratfall like a cartoon character.
Just like snip it out and put that on its own video. It's the gag reel. At one point, we actually considered doing that, having having a gag reel where it's like the fuck ups.
Oh god, that music sounds like, you know that like it's that Macintosh CD thing, but it's not really Macintosh. That's the name of the album.
No.
Okay. I'll have to go to Know Your Meme to explain it. Kind of hard to explain, but well, it's actually maybe. Hold on, give me 1 sec.
Yeah.
Okay. Although it could sound like porn music, like 80s.
No.
Why would, no matter what track I play, y'all think it's porn music?
I've just seen a lot of late night Cinemax when I was a kid.
Apparently, porn music is a much more diverse genre than I first thought. Who knew?
Okay, now it doesn't.
All right, this is it. It's called this thing.
Now it just sounds like the Weather Channel.
That's it. Oh, see, Cupid the Third knew I was talking about Macintosh.
Vaporwave. That's an
it.
entire music genre.
Right.
And that I'm not surprised that it sounds like, because as far as I understand, it's kind of supposed to sound that way.
Vaporwave.
That track, at least.
Yes, music made by people who vape.
Oh, yeah, we know how much you.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. Like I think that would probably be stoner rock or something.
Yeah.
It's hipster rock.
Oh, that stuff is fucking horrible. It's like this it's like part shoegazy bullshit. Where it just sounds like really forced melodrama.
Oh god, that can sound like porn music! I can see the guy just going. You have to use your imagination.
I don't want to use my imagination.
There's no part of my imagination that can.
He doesn't want to. He's not Mr. Rogers.
I can believe that this sounds like porn music. I'm sorry.
you just haven't seen enough late night Cinemax because I see what he's talking about.
You know what? It's gonna stay that way realistically.
It's like some bad. It's like the funny thing is some of it wasn't even really people doing it. It was simulated.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
I think like about half or more of it actually was just simulated.
Are we ready on the second segment?
Yes.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Bring that back up. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. So for the second segment, we're talking about character archetypes.
Indeed we were.
Yeah.
So who wants to kind of get the ball rolling?
So we all know the best is Yandere.
What?
Oh, okay.
I couldn't hear you. You tried to talk over him. What now?
We all know that the best one is Yandere.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe depends on my mood, I guess.
You know, I wasn't into Yandere until I found the character from Cinderella Girls, Mayu, who's like really obsessed with her producer, even though the anime doesn't reflect that notion as much because she's not like the main 14.
Right.
But they did a little bit of that.
Interestingly enough, and I'm having a hard time remembering your name, but the one girl from Keijo, the one with the kind of purplish hair.
Yeah,
she
I know who
kinda,
you're talking about, and I don't
she,
remember her name either.
But the thing is, she really wasn't one. She just kind of had that weird, like, creepy, kind of undertone.
Yeah, she had that sort of like crazed murderous vibe going on.
Yeah, but
like that crazed murderous like Yandere's get, but it's not like it's.
But it wasn't over
Yandere
another person.
Exactly.
It was just like I'm going to win.
Actually, okay, I can name another Yandere I like. Nadeko from Monogatari.
Mm-hmm.
I actually need to continue watching that to see more of that.
The one, and again, I'm having a problem with names. I apologize, but
I'm sorry.
The one girl from Sora no Toshimono, she's like the crime boss daughter. She definitely has that vibe. This really kind of creeping under the surface. Although she flat out acts on it though.
There's a great moment in have you seen Monogatari second season, Anubis?
I've seen a little bit of it, but not.
All right, there's a great moment where not a Yandere moment, but a great moment for Nadeko, which is like completely 180 to what her character presents herself as originally, and it kind of makes sense in the context. Where I don't want to spoil too much, but it's like she basically gives the reason you suck speech to like her classmates and society in general.
Okay, pop in real quick here. Her name is Mikako.
Okay. Cubed the Third says, I've been finding the bratty tsundere quite attractive lately. Umaru and Gabriel. They're not tsundere. They're just they're not. I don't think they're tsundere. They're just they're the.
Well, Amaru is just a little shit.
All right, Umaru.
That's her character archetype. She's an annoying little shit.
Yeah. Also,
yes.
Also, add Anzu to that trifecta of lazy, neat. You got Umaru, Gabriel, and Anzu.
Mm.
They're definitely like bratty child, but they're sort of like Yeah, in the case of Umaru-chan, definitely, because she just wants whatever from her brother.
Well, yeah.
The other two are
Right.
just lazy. Or in the case of Anzu, the only reason she became an idol originally was because she wanted to retire early and live off the royalties.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Bratty and lazy. What is that called? Like, what dairy does that fall under? He's asking.
I don't know if that's a dare though. Because it like the whole thing with any of the deres is that at some point they are or become like lovey-dovey.
right. Normally it kind of comes across. Let's see here. I mean, obviously you think of what's her name? Kotanoa is kind of a primary example you think of when you think of a yandere.
Well, yeah, she like before Yuno Gasai, Kotonoha was like the queen of yandere.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and interestingly enough, is you don't really see it coming as hard as it does, unlike a lot of other ones. Not I mean,
as hard, no.
No, especially if you didn't have no previous knowledge about the game or any of that. You might not have seen that coming quite as... I guess you could have, because there's clearly parts where she's not in touch with reality.
Oh yeah, there's clues, but like throughout the entire progression of the story, it kind of
talking
throws you through a loop.
Like talking into the phone when it's off the hook, like ding 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 ding. It's like hello.
That's a good one to talk about. Drawing Girl brought up Chunibyo.
Okay.
Yes, Chunibyo. I've been loving Chunibyo. Every Chunibyo that's been like coming out for like the past several years has been like the best character for said like Ranko from Cinderella Girls, Yoshiko from Love Live Sunshine. But if we go back further, obviously Rika from Chunibyo.
Yep.
Yeah. Kobato from
Haganai.
Haganai. Thank you.
Which brings up another interesting thing that kind of went by the wayside, the heterochromia trend that was kind of sweeping through with the different colored eyes.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
That didn't last a long time, but there was a point where it kind of started popping out a lot.
You still see it here and there. There is one in Cinderella.
But there was one stretch, and I think you'll know what I mean, like 2 or 3 seasons where it was just like wham, wham, wham.
Oh well, I can tell you definitely where the biggest like saturation point was definitely like when the two from
Rose and Maiden.
Yeah.
The
2 sisters.
Yeah, because there was a lot of memes popping up.
Yes. Boat lights.
Des.
Yes, boat lights. Chan was what they came. Because one was blue and red, something like that.
Right. Well, yeah. Even though I don't think this would fall under the general thought of an archetype, I guess it'd be more of trends. But since we're seeing a lot of the hobby sport, not sports necessarily, but the kind of hobby angle popping up a lot.
Right, Bakuan and other shows like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Airsoft.
Yeah, exactly. Cars and whatever, just any kind of right, any kind of hobby like that. You're seeing. I think that's interesting because, I mean, there's a lot to work with there, depending on the actual hobby, I guess.
Moe chess.
Actually,
I'm
that would
waiting
be
for my Moe golf anime.
I would totally watch that.
Moe boxing.
Like
Okay.
Here's oh geez. Yeah. But then it goes all fucking oh what the hell's that called? Ikitosen. to where it's just like hard hitting, wham. Or like the golfing thing. What would be great there is if you had one that was really perverted and kept making like terrible puns.
Oh, hole in one.
Yeah, like one wood, and shit like that. Like one of them is a complete like predatory lesbian. I don't know.
The possibilities are endless.
Well, it is golf after all.
Oh, that
I'm bad.
Grab that. Ouch.
I'm terrible. I'm a naughty boy.
That's pretty bad.
Jesus, fucking dude.
Right. Well, another sport. I mean, I know baseball's popular there too.
Yeah.
But golf's maybe even more so. So
I know there's golf anime, but yeah, golf.
Yeah, but we don't have the Moe golf anime.
Just like can't you just see the deadpan loli character that is too small to use the big clubs?
Like she tries to yell four, but she's too quiet, so people get hit.
Like people don't even know she's fucking there.
For
yeah, like a very just deadpan for. Other good ones that would be fun would be the chess one's interesting. You'd almost have a hard time because it would have to revolve more around it.
Well, no, it would be like when they move the pieces, you see like the pieces come to life, and maybe they're Moe girls too, but they're like knights and rooks and.
Wait, it'd be like the chess scene in No Game No Life.
Game No Life, yeah. That's exactly kind of what I was thinking of. Or let's see what else. What other kind of hobby or
Oh, I've been dying. I want a cheerleading one so badly.
Oh, just like a traditional sort of.
Yes.
Okay, like for the rugby team or something. Yeah. Or how about champion frisbee? I don't know.
Moe Ultimate Frisbee
Championship.
I don't know. What's something where we can have a lot of sweaty girls?
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
Track and field.
Lacrosse.
Yeah, exactly. Episodes of Cops. Bum, 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 bum. I think you know what I'm talking about if you've ever seen it.
Yes.
Where it's always, I mean,
I want my Moe police anime.
But when it's cops though, it's always some stupid fucking inbred toothless idiot that's out there in his underwear or something.
Yes.
Domestic disturbance. They'll either just like blur their face and they'll be barking into like a breathalyzer, or they'll just try to run like and fall over fences or something. They never get away, of course.
Of course.
No.
Uniforms. Yeah, I mean something like cops or firemen or something like that. I mean,
I still want my lolly cops. Like
I think I remember. Wasn't Danny Chu working on like an OVA or something basically about Moe firefighters? I feel like that's what it was about.
Let's see here. What other kind of mundane things like like a postal worker?
We all know how that one ends. It ends with Opate.
I was gonna say, or they work like at a fucking oil change place, or. Oh no! I got it. Like a BMX, like extreme sports tour thing, like where like they're skiing and fucking like doing half pipe shit.
Moi X Games.
X Games, yeah, exactly. Or fucking unbeatable Banzuke shit. I hope people get that.
Kinda.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like where they have these
Ninja Warrior and shit.
Yeah, exactly. These really fucking absurd obstacle courses. But yeah, I mean, the only reason I bring up some of these things is because, well, for one, we all know they like the uniforms in a lot of these kind of professions and whatnot. And obviously any excuse to, to make use of any kind of aesthetic like that, they usually tend to take them.
Yeah.
What was the name of the one with the Victorian ones? I can't for the life of me remember the name of it.
Not ringing a bell.
Ah, shit. What's it? Walker Romance or something like that?
Oh, Walker Romance. That's the jousting one.
Okay, yeah, but they had those like kind of uniforms.
Well, it was different between each girl. Like, I know at least one girl was like the samurai, and she had the whole samurai armor and whatnot with her getup and stuff.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe an anime version of MASH. I don't know. Something about that's kind of unnerving.
Moi Nam.
Yeah. But can't you just see it and be like the Suicide is Painless song playing in the background?
Agent Orange and shit.
Suicide is Painless theme song, and it's just like, people in fucking like helmets and trenches and yeah, exactly. People like some kind of not Apocalypse Now, but like Full Metal Jacket helicopter scenes and shit. Whew, that got dark really quick.
I just want the Kaneko taking the jelly donut.
Oh, or here's another one that we haven't really seen yet, like a Cold War kind of thing.
Moi Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, basically. And it would just be like, because you could totally see a bunch of cute anime girls wearing the fucking the fur.
The fur hat.
Yeah, exactly. With the hammer and sickle on them.
But that'd be military fetishism.
Yeah, but it would be communism, so they'd like it. Because they're fucking idiots.
That's fascist.
No,
Boy
it's
has
not.
become fascist.
Yeah. Way to not understand the term fascist.
It's fascist pandering. Which is what they're saying about what's the name of that one that's airing now?
Oh, Yojo Senki.
Yes.
I need to watch that one because apparently that one's like military fetishism, the anime, and if that's the case, then I need to be.
He wants to get on board on that.
Yeah, I'm getting on board.
I don't know. I kind of liked elements of that when they crept into like Hellsing and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Obviously the OVA version, because they clearly had them the Nazi vampires, which even saying that out loud is just like, it's almost like they had a dartboard.
So I want to talk about one of my favorite archetypes.
Yeah.
Christmas cakes.
I enjoy them.
I love Christmas cake characters. You just want to like hug them and like tell them, "I'm here for you." They're so moe. That really do the moe inducing.
That being said, you don't want to see what happens to them in H manga. that tends to be
one of the best like Christmas cake moments was in that Christmas episode of Umara-chan.
Oh yeah,
when you see that
when we see his boss try to clearly put the moves on him, and he's just like, duh.
And then you just see her sitting alone eating her like prepackaged convenience store meal.
Well, to be fair, that was more obliviousness, I guess.
Well, that too, but just like she's just like eating alone, and then she rents a movie, and then she's like going to the, what? Is it so bad that I rent a movie alone on Christmas Eve?
It could be worse. You could be at KFC.
Yeah, it's like a tradition there.
Yeah, that's not a tradition I'm very fond of. I don't know. Everything about that just sounds unpleasant.
Oh, the KFC for Christmas?
Yes.
Well, I know the origin of that. It's because they saw in the 70s, they saw Westerners trying to get something the equivalent of that, and so they were getting KFC.
Well, here's what they need to understand is most people in the U.S. now just really drink a lot of fucking eggnog and get stupid and pass out on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're depressed and they just don't do anything, or they also, another thing that tends to happen as far as Christmas goes is people tend to cause drama. And I'm speaking of firsthand experience here. I don't know why people could do that. I guess it's because there are a lot of family get-togethers, and
Yeah, probably.
same thing with Thanksgiving, to where, which I know some people who are outside of the country are like, "What the fuck is that?" It's where we eat a bunch of food where we celebrate that we wasted the Indians. Pretty much. What? True. Most people try to make it into something. It's like, no. It's like Columbus Day or something like that. You know, it's if you really look at behind it, it's kind of not pleasant. But anyhow, moving on to less and what's the moving on to less
Moving on to more pleasant things.
well, okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing we haven't seen that would probably be really fun would be like some kind of like El Dorado thing. You know, like where they're searching for the lost city of gold.
Moe girls in this.
Like, or no.
Moe conquistadors, like.
Well, no, not. Well, yeah, I guess. I was thinking more along the lines of less riding horses and doing that kind of stuff, and more just kind of like, what was the name of that show? Like Cities Underground or something?
I have no idea.
Fuck, I can't even think of the name. There was some show that it was like where they're looking for lost cities underground that have been buried by kind of time.
Moe History Channel.
Actually,
Moe
that sounds like
aliens.
That sounds like the there was the I never actually watched it, but there was the anime Mysterious Cities of Gold.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Or how about, okay, better yet, how about like an Indiana Jones type thing?
Oh, there were a bunch of those in the 80s too, actually.
Right. But I mean now.
Oh, now?
Like create some kind of like adventure.
Have you ever seen a Crystal Triangle? Oh boy.
Anything involving Indiana Jones and the word crystal is yeah.
I should tell you that it takes place in the year, like, I think it was like 1908X.
Don't you love when they used to do that?
The Japan, US, and the Soviet Union
Yeah, of
all
course.
involved in it. There's a spaceship with God in it.
Naturally.
God looks like a grub, like a larval thing, with the voice of a child.
That explains so much.
God gets killed. For some reason, like Japan.
What did like a dog eat it or something?
It's one of those like, let's take all these conspiracy things. It's basically Ancient Aliens, the anime. Including this actually was a theory. There's a planet called Nemesis that causes mass extinction. They incorporated that into the. into the.
Yeah, this does remind me kind of like of all those old 80s OVAs that had like these really fragmented stories with really giant plot holes that didn't always really make sense when you put it together.
Oh, and also a key animator, which kind of helps explain a little bit. Dekiano.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Was he still going through depression? Because this sounds certainly like it.
Well, it was the 80s, so probably not, but who the hell knows? I'm making it sound much cooler than it is. Unfortunately, it's not. I wasn't.
Ouch.
I know Daryl Surratt really likes that one as a sort of "it's so ridiculous" type of thing.
Yeah. It does sound pretty. But it doesn't really sound any different than some of the other, 80s and early 90s OVAs that had these really convoluted things that didn't always completely. It does, non sequitur sort of.
That was, and throwing robots because.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean like in JRPGs, they tend to sneak them in there.
It was like 4 out of 5 OVAs had to throw in something robot or sci-fi.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the age of that. Yeah. Maybe because of I don't want to get too political, but you think that was maybe because of kind of the Reagan era? Because when more conservatives tend to be in power, you do tend to see a lot of sci-fi, it seems like. That kind of creeps in. So
then we're due for a ton of
so
sci-fi.
I was going to say, so we're due for 4 to 8 years of more of it, maybe.
Hey, let's go. Sci-fi. I'm down.
But it's true though, if you really think about it, because like even the 50s, you saw a fuck ton of that.
Now I know why sci-fi like kind of sucked in the 90s compared to the 80s.
Yeah, maybe.
Thanks. It just answered my own question for long. If I was like, why did sci-fi kind of go down from the 80s?
Because Bill Clinton got a blowjob.
There you go. There you
go. Maybe.
We solved the mystery.
Yeah. We need that. We need that spinning Scooby-Doo thing. That.
It's like, why wasn't Star Trek Voyager good as Generation? It's like,
well, to be fair, I think that had kind of played itself out just in general by that.
That too. But
I mean, that's another thing is sometimes we let shows and franchises kind of continue long past their expiration date.
Although I love First Contact. I mean, it's so bombastically 90s, like over the top, just angry Picard.
Okay, here's a very typical kind of archetype you see in anime: the villain who actually turns into the good guy. Or at least they start off as a villain.
Yeah. But we're going to talk about anime villains. There's always like, maybe not so much now, but when you think of like anime villain archetype number 1, it's like always someone with white or blonde hair. Not always, but shoulders too big to actually fit through a door.
So they're a football player.
And a cape, and their end goal is to become God or kill God, or
that is a very
God or
that is a very, very common Japanese villain. Even Sephiroth somewhat falls into it.
Yeah, Sephiroth.
As you were describing that, I was thinking of the villain from Plastic Little.
Holy shit! Yeah,
dude.
Does the guy even have a real name?
I don't even know.
Like he was just this giant dude,
just trying to gain power. He just only does villainous stuff. Like
he gets shot in the face.
Yeah, I love in one of my favorite hentais, Legend of Leon Flair. There's one of those types, I was gonna say, to know how evil he is, while fucking someone in the beginning, like pretty much tears through.
Well, that's not
to let you know how evil.
That's nothing though. Think about Erotsuka Doji, where the crazy son of the German scientist,
Yeah.
like he's got the fucked up hair, like the weird, like I don't even know how to describe it really, but he's like this weird, like sorcerer of sorts.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen the second part, but
it's like Munihausen or something. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
But like they show his origin, and like he's like clearly in some German Catholic school kind of thing, and the headmaster woman, he sacrifices her to like Satan pretty much, and like the thing appears and just fucks the crap out of her, you know.
Yeah.
It's weird shit, but again, if that sounded interesting to you, I
was gonna say, yeah, I should rewatch those.
Guineas Sahaline from 8th MS team.
To be fair, they never truly explained his motivation outside of just.
No, he was just crazy.
Yeah,
but everything else he satisfies. He's got the blonde hair. He's got the wide ass shoulders.
He also, to be fair, they kind of hint that he has like schizophrenia or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Or on some kind of medical condition that's clearly not being treated properly.
He's got some kind of mental condition, and he's also sick, like deathly sick for some reason.
Yeah, don't forget, Lotor, from Voltron, or
what was it? Scene Klein,
yeah.
Yeah. He's basically has a weird Oedipus thing going on. Where like, you know, he's a child of rape, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Clearly this is not described in Voltron.
No.
Neither is the genocide of those one alien things. Anyway, but no. To be fair, Lotor / Scene Klein is never really a good guy.
No.
He actually comes across as just a creep, really.
Yeah, but I love the fact that Dexter's Laboratory.
It's all about that helmet.
Did an episode describing this archetype that I'm like talking about.
Okay, yeah.
And he even had like a fake Japanese name, like Hokoju or something. And it had like he had this like blue skin, long hair, like, or no, spiky anime hair, and like a sort of effeminate look.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because even shows like excuse me, franchises like Dragon Ball, you could say like Piccolo, who's green and doesn't have any hair, does wear a turban and has pretty big broad shoulders and a cape
and changes sides.
Though to be fair, that's more based upon kind of had to.
Well, yeah.
That wasn't really done because the kindness of the heart. That was more of just I'm gonna die if I don't do this. Kind of sucks there.
Yeah. Well, truthfully, I haven't seen as much radio Dragon Ball as I've seen Dragon Ball Z.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is in Dragon Ball, that's not the case. It's Z where that happened.
No. Yeah. That too, because where he was training Gohan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you usually have the really big, like you said, dude with shoulders that can't get through a door, or you have the really super skinny Bishonen, who also wishes to become God for some reason that's not really usually properly explained.
Super effeminate.
Wants to become God, or is working with like something evil God. Like remember Zio in Phantasy Star 4?
Yeah. Basically, he's just a pawn. Yeah, exactly. Also, speaking of somebody who has big shoulders and wears a cape and is generally, wants to destroy everything. See, this is a thing that shows up again and again and again and again.
Everywhere.
Although, to be fair, it does seem to have fallen by the wayside a little bit, because nowadays that doesn't seem to be quite as prominent.
No,
We don't get a whole lot of. We don't get as much anime with just this, like this big villain, like this big one, really evil dude who's just inexplicably evil and just trying to become God or play God or has some kind of compact with like aliens or something like that. Like we don't get that as much anymore.
I got one.
Uh-oh.
Charles Britannia.
Yeah.
Like he's huge. He's got a cape.
Huge, massive shoulders, has a cape, trying to become God. Yeah, he satisfies every single one of the.
I was just
criteria.
thinking, what's a current one or more current one that's kind of like that? And what's interesting about that is the other hero / anti-hero, whatever, Lelouch is very lanky and Bishonen.
Yeah.
So it kind of satisfies.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Good times. But it's interesting because those kind of villains are very different from typical villains here.
Yeah.
Those ones are very. I don't think. I think the villains in most Western stories, at least modern ones, they try to make you somewhat empathize with them more. Like, that seems to be a common thing where they try to make you see where they went wrong.
Right.
Like in that everybody was capable of this scenario or whatever.
Yeah. Whereas, like they usually go into the backstory.
Which I'm not knocking that.
Yeah, of course. And a lot of anime does that too, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, this thing happened in their past, and now they came up, and now they have a grudge against humanity or something like that.
Right.
It used to be Western stuff is just I'm doing this for the sake of doing it.
Yeah,
to an extent, but
you don't see that as much anymore either.
Yeah.
We have mercifully grown past that a bit.
I'm gonna build this.
Needless to bring up the Planet Tears nemesis.
I was just saying that. I was just thinking that. We're gonna build this flower plant, and
we're gonna pollute just to
we
pollute.
have this factory that only
it doesn't make
pollution.
anything.
It doesn't manufacture anything. It only produces pollution.
Just because. My name's Loot and Plunder. What do you want? My name's Verminous Scum. What do you think? I'm not gonna work at the post office.
Hoggish Greedly.
Sly Sludge.
You know, considering the current political environment, I
hope that doesn't come back.
I have the feeling that
please don't come back.
Captain Planet.
Want to do like a Captain Planet.
Oh no, and they'd all be millennials.
This is fucking worse than an R.L. Stein book.
I know they want to do a movie, but
no.
Maybe as a new
I'm imagining some big high budget Marvel type thing, but it's so fucking bad. It's like funneling in all this money.
Just you saying millennials gets me makes me shudder. How?
And it won't be like and instead of trying to clean up the earth and stuff, they'll have fucking shit about privilege and crap.
They'll have the trans character.
Oh yeah, and instead of like the card,
instead of the
elements, instead of the elements, it'll be like really like fucking. Everybody will have the equivalent of heart. It'll be like empathy. Ding, 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 ding.
Privilege was it? No, wait, no. Privilege is a bad thing.
Yeah. Cuckoldry. Ding, ding, ding. I don't know. The whole thing sounds like it would be fucking awful, though.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. No, but we were talking about villain motivations, and a good example of someone who has a motivation that's understandable, or at least to an extent, would be someone like Char.
Yeah.
Which,
and to be fair, he's less of a villain, at least during Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah. To be fair, if you really want to compare him, he's really not all that different than Batman.
Yeah.
Woke power. woke.
Drawing Girl says
No.
yes. Yoshino will count as Christmas cake, which is really sad knowing what happened to the voice actress.
Yeah, but because like Christmas cake is just any unmarried female character over 25.
I thought it was 30, but okay.
No,
That's
25.
Okay,
Because the whole thing of Christmas cake is nobody wants it after the 25th.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was the 30? I don't know. Anyway.
Shit, I was thinking. Oh, okay, I got a good one. This is something you don't really see anymore, but it was really prominent, and you're gonna know why. In the late 80s, early 90s, OVA, and only in OVAs and movies, not TV. The corporate like executive as the villain.
Oh, okay. I got a perfect example from Bubblegum Crisis. Genom.
Yes.
Like you know, the president of Genom and his like little fucking peon secretary or whatever the fuck his name is. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, clearly that definitely was an influence of sort of like Reaganomics or something.
Because there were a bunch of those, like Akira is the easiest one that comes to mind.
Yeah, it's just like corporatism, like going to the point where, well, technically this would probably actually be a good use of the word fascist. To where the government and giant corporations are the same.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing in just cyberpunk in general.
Yeah, and that's probably why. Like
corporations, you actually saw that a lot in video games back during the
Streets of Rage,
late 90s. Streets of Rage, you saw that. Virtual On, that's in the backstory. Armored Core has always been real huge into that.
Now I know where all these now I know why all these millennials are the way they are. Thanks, I figured it out.
Yeah, they grew up playing these video games where corporations took over, and now they're scared of that.
And watch Captain Planet.
Whereas I grew up playing all these video games where corporations took over, and now I think cyberpunk is the coolest shit.
Actually, I was gonna say, I don't know. These people don't seem like the type that'd like something like Streets of Rage.
No, it's misogynistic.
Well, not only that, but I'm sure they would like the destroying the public property part of it. You know, like cars and generally bookstores and any kind of buildings and whatnot. But like, you know, the beating on people. Well, if they're the right people, maybe.
Oh, so when you punch him, it says privilege. See the word?
Yeah. Like so.
Millennial fighters.
Imagine, like, you know how the select screen you got 3 or 4 different kinds of people.
Yes.
And like they all are character types of this nature. Like one of them is like looks like a homeless person with a giant beard. You know, like
but it actually has money.
Goonie beard man.
But actually has money.
He like he's walking around with like a fucking iPhone. Or not an iPhone, a iPod while he's walking around.
Sup, Shia LaBeouf.
Good times. Okay, trying to move it back toward anime.
How's that Transformer movie career? Oh wait, you're not in that anymore.
Okay, archetypes. Going back. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how kind of the zeitgeist pretty much determines how some of these pop in.
Yeah.
Which the corporation thing, I that's definitely obviously, you know, a result of the Reagan era.
Right, but also the bubble economy in Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, right. A combination, but the reason there was the bubble economy in Japan was probably due to that, though. We had a really good kind of working relationship at the time. That's why we farmed out stuff over there too.
Yep.
Well, actually, it came before. It was starting a little bit before that, because even in the 70s, the economy was doing.
Right, I got that. But if you want to, but that was also the point where we funneled a lot more money into their infrastructure, I think.
Yeah. I know.
And by that I don't mean we built them bridges. Thinking more along the lines of, their arts and so forth.
All those Rankin Bass Christmas specials. I will always bring that up. Those little Rankin Bass Christmas specials that you grew up with. Those were animated in Japan.
Wasn't some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episodes as well?
The first 5 were.
Yeah, I thought so.
Later on, and one of the because you could end the intro.
Yeah,
you could tell.
Yeah, exactly.
When Toei gave a damn about anime.
When Toei gave a damn, that would be an interesting name of like a book. Like when Toei
gave a damn.
Yeah. You know, remember when Toei actually gave?
It's just like a tree grows in Brooklyn.
When Toei gave a damn.
When Toei gave a damn. Going back to more characters that, well, I mean, clearly the shy, mysterious girl is a very common one.
Oh, yeah.
Which obviously came from Rei. I mean, in terms of why we see it so much. I mean, there's certainly ones before that, but that was definitely kind of a watershed point in general for anime in general. So the fact that you started seeing a lot more of that was no surprise. What's interesting, though, is how sometimes expectations can actually twist and turn underneath you like that. Because when I saw C2, I thought for sure she was going to be that character. But it's not. No. She's actually not nearly as quiet at all, and she's quite a bit of a smartass, actually.
She's pretty driven, too.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see her doing stuff in the background, which that's always funny, when he's just like, oh no! Like, it looks like those old, like, Flintstones cartoons or something where somebody's screwing around, they're not supposed to be there. Like, and like, he's got to distract the people that he's talking to,
right,
and keep them the fuck away. Like, you know, that's always great. But that's a common thing you see in animation and even sitcoms, really. It almost reminds you of the double date thing.
Yeah,
when somebody sets up a date that they already technically have one on the same date, and they're having to run back and forth. That's always ridiculous. It's like, why don't you just cancel one of them? You know what I mean? Reschedule, man.
An archetype I really like is the hyper enthusiastic foreigner.
Oh yeah, and everyone around her just kind of is usually like, and it usually is a girl.
Yeah.
Everybody else just kind of is very subdued in comparison, and I think that's also just to make them look even more like kind of. Not crazy, but more just bursting with energy. Or
I think there's the notion of like that to them they view the outside of the Westerners as being more free,
part of the out group.
That they don't have to like restrain themselves.
Yeah, right. Well, to be fair, let's be honest. Japanese manners and society in general is very stratified. It's it's nowhere near as loose as the Western world.
Yeah,
there's a lot more rank and file kind of going on. Whereas we're like the exact opposite of that. Like everybody here has an opinion, and everybody here voices it.
What was it? Someone said. Someone on Twitter said the perfect thing that kind of encapsulates what you just said. Was it Western Twitter timeline? Oh no, the apocalypse is coming, and you know, because of what's.
Oh yeah, and then on basically Japanese Twitter, they're talking about someone's ass crack.
Yeah, the ass crack sweater meme.
yeah, exactly. And it's just like, why? Yeah. To be fair, the sky is falling shit is getting really annoying really fast.
Yeah,
they've been saying the sky is falling for
forever.
Years. Yeah.
Well, in this case, we know it's only because their political party lost. It doesn't matter what Republican had won. You know that's true.
Right.
if it would have been John McCain or Ted Cruz or anybody else, people would be acting the exact same way. I'm old enough to remember when they did this when Bush won. Granted, it wasn't quite as ridiculous as it is now because I think it's an entirely different generation that's throwing the temper tantrum.
As I'll attest, as someone that went to art school, specifically at that time,
oh, you poor bastard.
And I had to hear about that shit.
Like the teachers too. Holy crap.
I had to fucking hear that stuff. I'm like, I'm here to hear about art. I'm here to
I'm just here to draw shit, man.
Can we talk about art? No, we gotta think about the Iraq War.
No, I don't. I'm not in Iraq. I know that makes me sound like an asshole, but okay, fair enough.
I remember someone I was talking to, that was afraid of the draft coming back.
Oh yeah.
I was saying, well, first off, I'm diabetic, so that wouldn't really apply to me. And she's like, well, they could still put you in for and it's like, no.
And what am I gonna do about it? And what would you do about it if that were the case? Yeah, like, what are you gonna do? Take up arms against them? Come on now.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd rather not be on the other end of a flamethrower.
Yeah, we've seen some of that super enthusiastic foreigner lately with the Oculus strip.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The Finnish girl.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, if you look at something like Strike Witches, you'll see that the hyper Genki one is almost always, well, it's never the Japanese one usually. It's more maybe like Lucchini or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Yoshika and Hikari are both pretty lively.
Well, examples I'm thinking of are, well, okay, you haven't seen Girlfriend Beta, so you wouldn't know Chloe. But I'm thinking of even though she's half Japanese, well, actually she's mostly English, but she has a little bit of Japanese in her. But Karen from Kinera Mosaic is the perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Where she's just so hyper and enthusiastic. And then you have Aya, who's the same voice as the one that does Rize from Gochi Usa. And so she's like the tsundere subdued one.
Right. And that's another one that tsundere, that's another one that I'm kind of glad that it's kind of fallen by the wayside a bit because it got oversaturated really fast.
It kind of did, even though really tired. You still see a little of it, obviously. There's always going to be a tsundere character. But it's not the main focus.
Right.
The show be about the tsundere.
Yeah, it seems a lot more kind of part of the wallpaper of the show.
Right.
Yeah, which not some kind of some kind of in your face sort of thing.
Kind of like the way Torador or
Yeah, where pretty much any and all shows that had I can't think of her name.
Rie Kugamiya.
Rie Kugamiya, yeah, thank you. She was typecast big time.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because if you've seen her in a show in any kind of role that she's not one, like Nana from Gundam 00. Not really a tsundere there.
Or also
more of a bitch.
Also
yeah. Well, sometimes you just gotta blow up a wedding.
Also the really Genki girl whose name I forgot from Saki. It was voiced by Rie Kugamiya, who I can't remember her name, but she was really the character that was really obsessed with tacos.
Hey, tacos are good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm K-Gods and I endorse tacos.
Yeah.
They're delicious. Fuck you guys. Not specifically endorsing a place to get them because, well, some places are better than others. Anyway.
I'm a fan of the. Well, you talked about the emotionless girl before, but like the one that you can imagine like would just lay there during you know what.
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed the very stoic, doesn't seem to have a reaction to things. I mean, it that usually is great because at one point when they do, it makes it all the more hard hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and to kind of slightly go off on a tangent here, in the chat, Cubey the Third says tacos rule. I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
Tacos rule.
Hopefully, I didn't sound like him when I said that. Like, don't mess with Texas.
A little bit.
Oh man, I did.
A little bit.
Don't mess with Texas, man.
Captain Texas.
I'm a cowboy.
Strategery.
Strategery. I used to have a baseball team.
Okay. I know a great archetype. Basically what Yui from K-On!, Kokoa from Gochi Usa.
What, the aloof type?
No, the Ultra Moe blob who certain people characterize as autistic.
So basically key girls? What? Most people do that.
He's not wrong.
I mean, and some people are go that extra mile to where they separate their eyes and crap. Even further to make them look like they're derpy.
Or they say they're retarded.
Yes. Yeah, indeed. In a world of a show called Air, you know. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, can you imagine if these people wrote the basic synopsis? Well, follow the exploits of these retards, you know, and some guy, yeah.
Oh yeah, drawing girl. You basically told about ditzy girls. Yes.
Oh, you know who's a really great one that I think kind of gets overlooked? A great dit. Sailor Venus.
Yeah, you know what?
She can be pretty ditzy.
Yeah.
And I say that with love. She is my first waifu. I practice polygamy.
Or what's another one? Tsukasa from Lucky Star.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. She was already mentioned, but Estrella from Heaven's Lost Property. Yeah, she's pretty dumb. She means well.
Asuka from Asmandao. She's more like spacey.
Those are great too, just because somebody that's clearly like daydreaming all the time.
Yeah, the Cloud Cuckoo Lander.
Oh, you mean like what's her name? Chitose from from Yuri Yuri. She's always in her own kind of
Yeah, well, yeah.
Although what she's imagining is just reinterpretations of the situation.
Yeah.
You know what anime needs more of? It exists as an archetype, but it doesn't have enough. The lesbian lolicon. The lolicon lesbian. There's Haruka from Kanamemo.
Okay, yeah.
There's the one whose name I forgot from Engaged the Unidentified.
Yeah.
Benio.
Yeah, Benio.
Well, I mean, you could argue Kyoko from Yuri Yuri as well, because she's very petite and she's certainly very a lesbian.
Well, she's a potential one.
Nah, I'm gonna go and say she definitely is one. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm talking about more like the character that's an adult that likes, little.
Okay. My bad. Oh, you mean like Santa? Who's constantly chasing Kamado around in a very questionable manner?
Yeah, kind of. But like I'm saying, like more past the age of like 18 chasing her.
Okay. Yeah, that's not really as common there.
Nah.
Most of your like take Senran Kagura for instance. I mean that's just hilariously like, hey, I'll come up behind you and fondle you. Just because. Yeah. Why not? Let me show you my ninjutsu.
Yeah. Well, I mean, specifically someone that likes like lolis. Again, Haruka, like from Kanamemo. It's perfect.
Yeah, I got that, but it's like you said, it's just not very common.
No, but yeah, I do like. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, like the enthusiastic.
Yeah, like the one that's just completely shameless about it.
Yes.
Well, it's just like, I feel like fondling tits today that aren't mine.
Yes.
The best ones are the creeper ones that just kind of come up behind and are like, wham. Those ones kill me.
But according to some people, girls don't grab other girls' breasts.
Yeah, they do. I've seen it.
Women don't do that. Also, women don't wear other women's panties.
That's beyond my scope of knowledge.
And I'm like, yeah, but it works for the show, so it's meant to be funny.
And then you have the perverted girls that aren't necessarily groping, but are constantly looking at porn or something like that.
Or someone like Chitose from Yuri.
or Hitoa from Mitsudomoe, as said in the chat. She's constantly just sitting there like looking at smut. Always has like that crazed look on their face. Like their eyes get all cracked and like that's pretty amusing. Okay, here's another one. Ones that are in positions of authority that like somebody but they can't really express it. I've always enjoyed that, like Tessa from Full Metal Panic.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, she kind of does, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Let's see. Arguably, Hawkeye from Full Metal Alchemist as well. I mean, it's kind of obvious to the viewer for sure.
Naturally.
Then again, I also like the I don't know. I tend to like I like generally exuberant characters that are very well, I mean, I like both, but but take someone like Haruhi, who's just really, put it this way, I used to remember seeing those demotivational posters. They used to have her on there and it would say like, enthusiasm. You can have too much of it. Shit like that.
I like I actually really like tomboys in anime.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hit and miss
Also referred to as Bokuko.
Right. I'll agree with Anubis on that. That's very kind of hit and miss.
True, but for some reason they're just really endearing in anime. A lot of them tend to be like track stars and like Makoto from Idolmaster.
Yeah, also wears a tux.
Yeah. Or one of my favorites, Seshiro from Nisekoi.
Okay.
Which I know Anubis hates.
To be fair, I understand that. I understand why he dislikes it. Chitoge.
Also a bitch.
Rubs Anubis the wrong way. We know that.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are some other good examples? Ritsu from K-On!
Okay. Yeah. I saw this really horrible fan art image, or it wasn't really fan art. It was just somebody that had manipulated something in Photoshop, where they made her head look like a bowling ball, or like because it was shiny like that, like you'd put it in a the ball return. I was just like, oh, come on. I mean, she does have a big forehead, but come on. That's mean. K-on's too innocent of a show to do that. So somebody is going to tell me about the porn. I know.
Naturally.
I've seen enough of it. I know. Azusa needs guitar lessons. What's gonna happen next? Dun 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 dun.
But no, I'm with Drawn Girl in the IRC. We need more authoritarian anime girls.
Sure. Yes. I am very, very fond of someone like Esdeath.
Haman Karn. Anime girls in charge. Let's go.
Indeed. A lot of S&M crossover. And I'm okay with that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Another reasonably authoritarian one.
So that's Tanya the evil
the girl from Yojo Senki.
Yes.
Or how about Cornelia from Code Geass?
Yeah. You know, she's a character I keep forgetting about, but every time I remember, it's like, yeah, Cornelia, let's go.
Yep. So okay, more authoritarian girls. Let's see here. Let me think about that for a minute.
I don't know if I'm alone in this, but completely blanked on the name. Main girl from High School DxD.
Oh, yes, Rias Gremory.
Kind of gave off that vibe to me. She's very obviously in control.
Yeah. Been very much a hottie.
Yeah.
How about really shy glasses girls?
Yeah, the kind of bookworm type.
Not necessarily bookworm, but just really shy.
No, but that look is thought of that way.
Yeah.
Kind of the librarian sort of look.
Possibly.
Depending on how conservatively they're dressed, I suppose. Okay. Let's see here.
You got Yuki Nagato.
Yeah, that's pretty much the first one that usually comes to mind. You got, what's her name? Was it Samantha or something from what the hell? Zero no Tsukaima? What was her name? I can't think of her name.
I know who you're talking about. I'm also blanking on the name.
I don't think it's Samantha. But I can't think of the name. Huh.
I'm thinking of like Suzu from Love Lab. And also the girl from Tamako Market. What's her name?
See, this is more your, I think, field because you like glasses girls anyway more than I do.
Oh, Shiori, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Scorpgeist in the IRC brings up a wonderful point about the whole thing with Tsunderes. The problem is that the story forgets that she's supposed to have a character growth arc.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's Tabitha. Okay, that makes sense. That's why I was thinking Samantha. Sort of has a similar roll off the tongue a bit. But no. Okay.
Depends, but sometimes they like the tsundere where she just goes back and forth between tsundere.
Yeah, but good ones, you know, are good ones have that gradual kind of not necessarily change, but eureka moment.
Well, the whole idea is she's supposed to warm up to the main character over time.
Okay,
remain a bitch the entire series.
I'll give you an example of one. Not really, probably what you would think of as a tsundere, but someone who does that. Mine from Akame ga Kill. I didn't like her at first. I'll be the first to admit.
Yeah, no, me neither.
She rubbed me the wrong way. But I liked her more over time.
Yeah.
And there's characters like that. I mean, even someone like Asuka, I didn't like her at first. I thought she was kind of a bitch.
To be fair, that's her. That was her entire character.
I know, but for some reason, I started to like that. It's one of those weird things where after a while, you're kind of like, why am I finding that attractive? Or why is that appealing?
She's a giant bitch and thinks she's better than everyone. That's her whole
in real life,
until like shit goes down.
In real life, I'd like to send her out on a cab. Fuck this. Fucking, I'll take my Ava and go home. You're on your own out here in the boat.
Well, one of the best that combines both tsundere and glasses, Aki from Furokano.
Yeah.
It's like
she's one of the best characters in that show.
It's the peanut butter and chocolate of anime characters. It's like you take two great things and you put it together.
The peanut butter and chocolate anime characters.
And small chest.
Of course.
We need to come up with a different with a what do you call it? I am clearly at loss for words tonight. I can't even think of the right proper word. Not an allegory, but an analogy. We need to have something with the same analogy, but somehow slip in tentacles and something else, because it'll be a little more proper, considering what we're talking about.
You got your tentacles in my...
Yeah, he's like, you got your tentacles in my schoolgirl.
That is dangerous.
I forgot about that. I could just see you itching with that finger.
Yeah, I'm looking for an excuse to use this
drop down.
It's like the Law and Order sound.
Yeah, it's great. Ding ding. You could have done that one too.
I could have.
Okay, that was just excessive. Okay, here we go. Tsundere are now a gimmick, and people forget it's a form of character development.
Yeah.
One of my favorite archetypes that is mostly in Key is the snarky lead protagonist, like Yuichi or Tomoya.
You also see that a lot in light novel anime. How he did that with Kion. Like generally speaking, light novel anime does that a lot. Bakemonogatari does that.
Okay, more amusing from the chat. I just think naughty tentacles would be hilarious as a phrase, or possibly naughty tentacles.
Those are the furry variant of naughty tentacles.
For some reason, when somebody says that, I got this visual of, and again, this shows that I've been watching on my way too fucking long. That like somebody playing, like two girls out there playing tennis, like, on a court, and they hit the tennis ball, but the tennis ball in mid hit transforms into a tentacle monster.
Why isn't this a show already? This seems perfect.
Like, it's like crossing between Demon Beast Invasion and Fault. And I really hope people know what I'm talking about. And if they don't, they're going to be very surprised when they look it up.
Instead of naughty tentacles, naughty tentacles.
No.
Nope.
He is wrong. The gentleman is wrong.
Well, that's one of those phrases I'm kind of glad fell out of favor.
The aughts.
The aughts or audis or naughties, or it just doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
It's the 2000s, as we call
and
then
the
2010.
But you always get the people. Yeah, but that could be any year. No, it won't.
No,
because
people know what you're talking about.
Because, quite frankly,
you'll be dead by the next.
By the time that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's be real here. When somebody says the 40s, like what? The 1940s or the 1840s? Nobody does that. Now, granted, once we pass the 2040s, that might be an issue.
Possibly, but we'll cross that bridge
when we get to it. Yeah, it's like my math professor. He actually said, like, I was telling him about how, do you know some people call 2000 to 2009 the aughts, and he's like, yeah, they can't be my friends. which I just thought that was really funny.
In the year 20XX.
Yeah, okay. Well, the thing is, though, is you can actually make a lot more do with that.
Yeah.
In the 21X. There you go.
Now you're constraining yourself a bit.
Well, that's the best part about what I was telling you about earlier.
You mean like that fact that Earthbound says 1990X? Or 199X. Yeah.
Well, that was the best part of what I just said before about the OVA Crystal Triangle, because it takes place in 1908X. The anime came out in 1987.
Right. So yeah, that doesn't make it much in the way of sense, because you're already toward the end of the 80s when you rate it. Why don't you just put the date?
Well, it's like how Macross was supposed to take place like 8 years ago.
Yeah, like every time I sit there and just
Evangelion 2016.
Yeah, Evangelion was last year.
None of that bothers me as bad as Back to the Future.
Oh, the 25th, yeah.
Yeah, because then it's just like I'm watching the movie Back to the Future, and none of this happens in the future anymore.
Well, you know what? At least the Cubs did win.
That's actually kind of scary.
That actually happened. That's
they were a little late, but
it actually happened. Friggin' SDS. We were supposed to have transforming F-14 fighters 8 years ago. We don't even have the best we have is the F-35, which has a lot of problems.
Well, wait. We got hoverboards. Of course, they explode.
Yeah, of course they look stupid and explode into flame.
Someone did a video. Someone did an animation about that. By the way,
our future is more like BattleTech, where everything is just a piece of shit.
It doesn't work.
Someone did a video about that.
Our future is like the main area in the fucking thing in Spaceballs. Out of order.
Someone did a video like a flash animation about that in 2015 with Marty McFly and the docs saying but this is what actually 2015 is. It's like we have hoverboards, yeah, but they're yeah, you get where I'm going with this.
They look dumb and they explode into flame all the time.
Exactly.
You can't take them on planes because they're scared they'll explode and shoot the plane down.
All I know is that people in those X years can do things like make a tank explode by punching it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
everything is better when you put an X instead of a number at the end of your year.
Well, not only that, but everything's better when it just explodes for no real reason.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of the law.
Case in point, BattleTech. Everything's a
Uh,
piece of shit. If you try to run on pavement, you might fall and hit your reactor, and that reactor might explode.
Well, that's just like at the end of a Tamino directed thing. Shit explodes.
Shit explodes, people die.
It's like dirty. It's like Dirty Pair in that regard, you know. Just
Yeah.
nothing or nobody is really safe.
See, I need to. If I were making my own thing, I would put the X in front of a date, but I would need to find a great way of like trolling, like maybe the X in the beginning or something.
XO19.
Yeah.
Could be like 4019. We don't know.
Yeah, it could totally be. No, what would really be funny about that is to put X019 and then put BC. It's just fucking stupid. Oh, I'm sorry. The politically correct thing to say is CE or BCE. Yeah, my bad. Which, by the way, I know that's the truth because all modern textbooks do that now.
Oh yeah, that's common now.
And when I was a little kid, that was not the case.
Oh, really? I didn't even know about that one. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's been true for a long time. But when I was a little kid, though, that wasn't the case.
Oh, I get it. Before Common Era. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. But before that, it was your traditional BC-AD. In fact, if you watch a lot of old anime, you'll still see it.
It was the case up until Gundam 00.
Well, to be fair, one thing that I do see in anime a lot, and I'm really happy about this, is they do it right. They put AD in front of it.
Yeah.
That's I know that's petty and stupid, but that's something that always bothered me.
Well, to me, every time you do that, it makes it sound like the future. Like no matter what, like it could be AD 1984. It's gonna sound like the future anyway to me.
I think
AD
we're gonna
2017. It's like, yeah, cool. We're living in the future now. It sucks.
UC 0079. Not good times.
I think we're gonna cut it off here, but I will say that all we know is that we're living in
post-apate era?
Yeah, PU.
We're living in the post-apate world.
PU.
Shouldn't it be AU after apate?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll go with that. Like that should be a joke we should kind of continue on. Hammer out some details.
Hang on, what year is this in the calendar? It is currently
Oh, this is great.
Pate was 2012
because we're not actually in the we haven't reached April 8th yet, because that's when the post-apate era begins. We're currently in the fourth year of the post-apate era.
That should be the name of the episode.
What a ridiculous statement.
Yeah, but we should totally run with it.
Okay, so there you go. We're in 4
AU4.
AU0004.
I'll work with that.
Okay, we're up against the break. I got something hot planned for the third segment, so keep it right here. That comes your way after this break.
Okay.
All I know is one thing. There was a time before Apate, and then there's a time after Apate, which is where we are now.
But really, should it be PU? Because we're living in a post-Apate world. But then again, nobody says it, though.
To me, I feel like it would
be more official.
Apate, it's like, because what I imagine this whole thing is like, Apate was like some sort of cataclysm. So
yeah, like it's some giant earthquake.
Yeah, 0004 AU. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the whole thing is ridiculous. I agree. It reminds me of After Colony.
Yeah, same here.
That's the first thing that I thought of.
We got to put it in front though.
Yeah,
AU 0004.
Oh, that's great. I'm so tempted to say that fucking opening.
It was the year AU 0004.
The year is After Colony 195. Operation Meteor. In a move to counter the Alliance's tyranny, rebel citizens of certain colonies scheme to bring new arsenals to the Earth, disguising them as shooting stars. Good times.
I really need to get back into playing BattleTech. Is that
I thought you were going to say Battletoads, and I was like, no, you don't.
No, I don't.
Like, if you have hair and you still want to keep it,
if you ever want to get into a tabletop game, I highly recommend BattleTech, because it's just the most crazy random shit you could possibly imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to run on this pavement, but I got a bad roll and slipped and fell, and I landed on my left arm, and that broke off. So then I got up, and this other dude came up, picked up my left arm, and clubbed my mech over the head. Just pick up trees and smack other mechs with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just rear up, kick another mech in the business.
Here we go.
Miss and fall.
Is Leo ready for use? Wouldn't the Ares Lightspeed mobile suit be better than the Leo Ground Battle mobile suit?
So
my Leo is plenty fast enough.
Is that Leo ready? Don't you want, the one
flight
that's
unit
designed for aerial combat, so we can go do some aerial combat? No, I'm gonna take on the most powerful weapon currently known to mankind in the Welfare Zaku.
He blew away 2 Ares with just one shot. Not too shabby. Which, of course, then he totally pones him.
Of course. Just jumps out.
Just like,
okay, I'm done.
It's like, I just
thing and pulls the parachute.
Yep, good times.
Sex rookies.
Well, he is one of the more competent characters.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who aren't useful, how useless was General Septum? The one that Lady Owen actually shoots in the head after she drops him out of the plane.
Dropping him out of the plane.
And then
the bottom falls out of the plane, he falls out, and then she shoots
him. And then she snipes him right in the fucking head.
Oh, I should have mentioned Hannah from Hannah Yamata's when we're talking about Genki Foreigners.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, did you watch that, Nimbus?
Haven't yet.
Okay.
That's
but you know what I'm talking about.
I need to get, yeah, I know the one from Jersey.
Yes, that's right. She's from New Jersey.
Speaking of Jersey, I got a terrible idea.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Jersey Shore, the anime.
Nope. Where? Hang on. I need to pause this and get back to the soundboard because that was that bad. Nope. Let's do this one again.
He is wrong. The gentleman is wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. Do we have mail?
We do not.
Okay. But apparently you got something cooked up.
No, I got something cooked up.
Yeah, more porn music.
Okay, that one. Yeah, I'm not getting it here.
I know, I'm just doing.
Like, what is it? Like people doing the robot while they're?
No, this sounds more like a girl bouncing, like she's running and her boobs are bouncing up and down on the beach.
Well, I was gonna say, what is it, like Romper Room or something? Like
Romper Room.
Boing, boing, boing. I have very, very vivid imagination here.
Yeah.
I have an extremely strong imagination, like just.
Well, you know what they say: if you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. I hope I'm not the only one who got that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh man, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
It's been years. It's been at least 2 decades since I've seen that.
I'm gonna go out on, and I doubt anybody's going to correct me on this, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the remake actually wasn't all that hot.
Nobody talks about the remake.
That's because the original has fucking Gene Wilder in it.
And also, oompa oompa.
Fuck them. Fuck that. You stole fizzy lifting drinks.
Okay, we ready?
Yes.
Indeed.
Let me get some lemonade first, because
the big rant coming.
No, you gotta get the lemonade. Fudge lemonade.
Milk lemonade.
Oh yeah.
Corner fudge is
fudge is made. That's it. I got that wrong. Clearly.
That's so childish and disgusting.
Seriously, that sounds like something you would say while you're in 3rd grade. But then, like, you know, it's just like, I'm gonna eat.
Okay.
Wait, one quick thing. As bad as it was pretty mind-blowing experience with the coolness of the control system.
Yeah, he's talking about the Gundam Pod game.
Oh, okay. No, this like to me it was all about all those squirrels. That was the only thing I liked about hang on. I like the boat scene. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sorry. My bad. I was thinking of in the remake they had the one scene with the squirrels. That was the only cool thing about it.
Those were actually trained.
Yeah, I actually read that somewhere.
Trained squirrels. We should weaponize those.
Oh!
I don't know how, but somehow.
Speaking of squirrels, one thing Japan likes to do is a thing called squirrel fishing. You gotta look this shit up when you got a free moment.
I know I saw a video about squirrel launching. You ever see that? Someone built a squirrel slingshot, so the squirrel comes through, takes the bait, and then gets flung.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think they're trying to get him out of their yard or something like that.
This is mean.
It's kind of it's mean to the squirrels, but the visual is hilarious.
Right. Can we set it up to just get annoying neighbors and people trying to collect, like, you know,
annoying neighbors thing shot?
Yeah, or just like people that are coming to sell you shit. Hey, come on back in my backyard for a minute.
Trebuchet.
Shit. What are they called? The what are the religious
Jehovah's Witnesses?
That's it. Yeah,
Come here. I'll show you something interesting.
Just set up a giant, like a hidden I don't know how you're going to hide a trebuchet, but step 1 is do that. And then hide it
or
somehow on your porch, and then you have a lever, and then you hit the lever, and then they get flung 200 meters.
Better than that, let's just create the fucking drop hatch. like you'll be sitting there and you'll just have one like where you ring the doorbell. There's one there, and like.
See, step 1 is to dig a big hole underneath your porch and set up the set from the Death Star garbage disposal down there. And then you have the big tunnel and then you have the trap door that you just hit the lever and then the trap door falls.
And then you got like Meg down there.
Moe proclamation.
Emancipation Proclamation.
No. What's that thing when you proselytize?
You mean
proselytizing?
Proselytizing. Yeah.
Proselytizing.
Well, be careful because
spread the good news about Moe.
Well, I mean, careful because you go too far with that, you might go full circle to Moe fundamentalist terrorism.
I forgot about that. I wish I didn't remember that.
Anyway, let's talk about Moe Nazis. Ready? In 3, 2. Welcome back to NTR Radio. We don't have mail,
no.
but
I'm glad he got that.
We don't have mail, but continuing on the ongoing saga of me being upset, quite a few things have been happening just in the general fandom world that have upset me in the past 2 weeks.
Okay, everybody strap yourselves in.
Anubis is angry again.
So
hit the deck!
And these the first 2 things are sort of related by one pivot point. So the first one was, did you guys hear about this whole thing happening with the whole anti-fem thing and them talking about the My Anime List people editing one thing, and now apparently My Anime Lists are Nazis now?
Yes, I didn't see the whole deal, but I actually saw the fallout.
Yeah, so
and it was just really fucking head scratching.
Yeah, so the gist of it is that My Anime List had a writer from My Anime List had posted an article about these 10 or so characters who kick Nazi ass. And then one of the people ostensibly in charge, at least of editorial and whatnot, of My Anime List, edited that to include one more sympathetic Nazi character, and then like edited the title to portray that. And Anifem broke this story. Anime Feminists broke the story. And my number one question was, what the fuck does this have to do with feminism?
Nazism? A lot.
Because I mean,
just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, I get it. I get that there's the political angle, but it's not. Anifem isn't supposed to be that, ostensibly, according to what they say about themselves.
Yeah,
they're basically only supposed to be feminist anime site, which is fine. But then they get into this whole Nazi thing, and then they try to play it off later on, because they saw all this criticism, so they're like, yeah, we got to address this somehow. And what they do is this entire ham-fisted article about how this somehow has to do with feminism. But their whole premise they're going on is when people ask what feminism has to do with Nazis, they're not asking that question in good faith. Which is a surprise to me, because all I'm wondering, all I'm trying to do is get information asking a question.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line for me is, it's this entire thing where they're really surprised. They're acting like the skepticism with which Anifem is looked upon is undeserved.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the person who just sits down in the middle of the room and then like, what are you looking at?
Exactly. Like, what are you looking at? I'm not doing anything. When if you look at any of the controversy happening in the anime fandom for the past 7 years,
mm-hmm.
And if you earnestly look at it, there's no question that on why this kind of thing would be looked at with skepticism. But because they know that they have a cottage would be the word. I don't know. They have an embedded group of people who will defend them no matter what, just based on the basis of what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to they're able to do this with impunity and still wonder, oh, why is everyone so concerned about what we're doing? They get to act so surprised when people ask questions.
That brings me to another point. There's this really annoying argumentative technique that's been kind of floating around for a while now. It's called it's referencing just asking questions.
Yep.
Somewhat unflatteringly referred to as jacking off, as in JAQ. Personally, I think this is just a hand waving technique to get people to stop doing it.
It's when people are asking questions that you don't want to answer, but you're expected to answer.
And people are going to expect you to do it. Now, granted, I do think some people do just play the devil's advocate to irritate people. Certainly. But at the same time, if somebody has a question and you're not going to answer it, expect people to wonder why you won't.
It's someone's asking a question, and realistically, more often you don't know how to answer it. And the answer to that question is important to your stance.
Yeah, or at least it plays into, hey, this kind of is an important thing to answer, because if you can't, it means you have no leg to stand on.
Yeah, it's Scorpgeist in the IRC. Couldn't you just refuse to answer the question, but suffer the consequences of that silence? They want to have the cake and eat it too.
So basically, Trump and his taxes.
Well, yeah.
Well, he didn't not answer it. He just told him to fuck off.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they want to have the cake and eat it too. They want to not answer the question. They want to refuse to answer the question, but they want to be as if they'd given a satisfactory answer to that question.
I want to say Scorpiogeist is a great name, by the way.
Well, yeah. The thing is I'm sorry, but the timing of this group is very conspicuous.
Oh, yes.
I'd say less the timing of the group, more the timing of a lot of other things that went on.
Okay.
Simultaneously.
It just feels very convenient. That hey, this showed up when Crunchyroll's making these deals
exactly
with like Funimation, and like some of the people in Funimation have been charged with doing some questionable behavior, and employing some people that are mouthing off quite a bit.
Oh yeah, and also certain shows coming out that other people don't agree with, but they don't want to say.
Well, the thing is I have no problem with the show Yuri on Ice or whatever. My problem is the fact that this clearly is being pushed by a certain subsect of people.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, Scorpiogeist and the IRC wants us to elaborate on the timing thing.
And people objecting to said show.
Well, I mean that too.
Well, and not only that, but
to kind of preface the timing discussion, Anyfem came into existence at the beginning of October, I believe, and really that's kind of the start of the fall anime season. And the fall anime season had Yuri on Ice, which was heavily marketed by Crunchyroll, and Keijo, which was for some reason, I still don't know why, but was for some reason a huge feminist talking point in the fandom. So the rise of Anyfem coincided with the kingmaking of Yuri on Ice and the controversy surrounding Keijo.
And of course, this anime of the year and kind of awards business. I mean, granted, I think the whole thing's kind of dumb because it's not like you're going to have shows on there that you're not airing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't. Yeah, I mean, none of them got any awards.
Well,
how did Sound Euphonium get nothing? Like,
it wasn't even nominated.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you know something's fishy, because it was what everybody was talking about.
There were so many people talking about Sound Euphonium, but here's the thing, and here's my conspiracy theory. You ready for this?
Oh, this would be good.
When did Sound Euphonium air?
Okay, the new one or the original?
The latest one.
The last season. The fall.
Okay, what was the only show up for fall 2016 season in the anime of the year category?
I'd have to look again.
Rhetorical question. It was Yuri on Ice.
I know. I was being a smartass.
And so, if I was
abetting
that, but if I was in charge of nominations, and again, conspiracy theory, not accusing anyone of anything, but if I was in charge of nominations, and it would be valuable to me for Yuri on Ice to win. I'm not stupid. I understand recency bias. the only show from fall 2016 I'm gonna put on that list is Yuri on Ice. You get what you're picking up what I'm putting down?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but
so
I mean,
again, conspiracy theory, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was some kind of incentive,
like cross promotional,
something like that, maybe some kind of incentive for Yuri on Ice to sweep these awards, including Anime of the Year. I wouldn't put any other show from fall 2016 up on there against Yuri on Ice.
Well, no, because fans would almost certainly outvote it. I mean, if you didn't.
Well, that's when you get into the second prong of this attack, which is, hey, let's put the most king-made anime of fall 2016 up against a bunch of shows people forgot about over the course of the year and see who wins. Let's actively market this show for an entire season, not do anything similar with any other show for the entire year, and then put it up against every show people forgot about from the entire year and see who wins. I
understand what you're saying here. You're almost saying that it almost feels like some kind of what's the right word here? I mean, it almost makes it sound like it's something they're pushing so that they can get the quote as picked by Crunchyroll as Anime of the Year to slap on the cover.
Hey, wouldn't be surprised if that was part of it.
Or how about or how about I mean, again, none of these things happen in a vacuum. There's almost got to be some sort of financial or vested interest somewhere.
Or just social profit,
or just currency,
and you know what?
Social currency.
That
actually bothers me more.
That it looks to me like that's enough.
Well, again, the telling thing is we'll see in a couple of years if they still care about Yuri on Ice. Because I remember in 2010, exactly. Well, I remember in 2010, A&N. What they considered the top show of 2010 was, and it was Princess Jellyfish.
Mm-hmm.
Good anime, not my thing, but very good anime. But who's talking about Princess Jellyfish?
Not many. In fact, this is probably the first time it's been brought up for a long time for anybody.
Here's the thing: who's talking about Free anymore?
Yeah, or Kids on the Slope,
which was a huge thing, and
or Space Dandy.
I say Free specifically because here's the thing: this same shit happened back during Free. We're seeing now with the Crunchyroll, with the Anime of the Year finally having been announced, as if anyone was wondering which one would win. We're seeing whenever people bring up, hey, I don't think Yuri on Ice deserve to win Anime of the Year, they're dismissed as salty, or worse, they're accused of, you have something against Fujoshi, you have something against female anime fans.
You're a fucking white male.
Yeah. And the same shit happened with Free. You notice?
Yeah. It almost seems like they're trying to polish a method of pushing certain shows to kind of correlate with this new kind of branding message they're trying to shove, and basically try to what's the right word here? It's kind of almost like social engineering, but for products.
Yeah.
To where
they can create a perception. Go ahead.
Right, to where when you don't have any options, because this is the only stuff that anybody's pushing or caring about or licensing or what have you.
Yep. If they can create a perception that Yuri on Ice is hot as shit, then possibly we might we might get more shows like Yuri on Ice, or more people are going to come into anime off of stuff like Yuri on Ice, etc., whatnot.
So it's basically just, I mean, it's fraudulent, but
here's the thing. It's like
it's trickery.
It's trickery, and it's not genuine. And when I harp on the whole, let's keep talking about anime stuff, what I don't mean is let's have Crunchyroll King make an anime for an entire season, and then get really surprised when that anime wins their own Anime of the Year awards.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, it's not like shows that they're not showing are going to pop up into that voting.
Yeah,
and if I'm not mistaken, wasn't only people that worked there were allowed to vote?
No. It was the elections for anime. The voting.
The elections
was open to the public, but wasn't
there some sort of like limit, or not limit, but some sort of barrier to entry or something?
Not that I know of.
Okay, well maybe I'm just wrong. I think I read that somewhere though.
There was a panel of people who did the nominations.
Oh, okay. That's probably what I was thinking of.
Which, if you look at the panel of people, I disagree with the people they chose, but that's beside the point.
I was gonna. Okay, two things. One, Drawing Girl says, I like Princess Jellyfish because the main girl is cute. Yes, she was actually the best thing of the show. But also, Scorpiogeist asks, can you elaborate on the timing thing?
Yeah, that's what
we were kind of doing.
All right.
You haven't been paying attention there, man.
Yeah. He also mentions, I think of the funny crunchy packages in Unholy Alliance. I agree with that.
Me too, because and the main reason I do is because if you look, dude, what is that noise, man?
Oh, sorry.
It's annoying.
All right. I was trying to be as quiet. No, continue. Sorry.
Sounds like somebody dicking with an ice tray. Anyway, yeah, the Unholy Alliance there, I can see what. Now, just for me, the perception here is that there's something kind of fishy about it. And the reason I say that is because you've got certain people, and I've seen them, whether they be voice actors and actresses or script writers or what have you, saying pretty nasty stuff to fans and whatnot. And I don't mean people that are dicking with them. I mean just like, somebody who has some kind of opinion that rubs them the wrong way. And it's like, wow, in any other profession, you'd get nailed for that.
Case in point, the whole prison school thing last year.
Or just some people, like the Toonami asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not. I know he's not part of Funimation, but that kind of behavior.
But that kind of behavior is condoned a lot
in most. But anyway, moving along. You got those people, making these comments and whatever have you, okay, and then you've got some kind of dubious things going on there. And then you've got this tie-in to Anifem as well,
which everyone involved insists is
completely
benign.
Harmless, or it has no relevance. But to me, it's starting to sound more and more like don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Why is everyone paying so much attention to us? Why are we being looked upon with such scrutiny? I don't get it. When realistically, it would only make sense.
But it's like
you remember when back when I ran Task Force MOE.
Yes,
like that with nothing but scrutiny.
Right. But well, how about? Here's the thing, and it's something you've said before. It's one thing to have a bias, but it's also bad to appear to have one.
It's bad to have a conflict of interest. It's just as bad to appear to have a conflict of interest because it's the same.
It's the same. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. And to me, it's becoming the more and more the weird things start popping up here and there, the more and more it's looking that we pegged it right from the get-go. and that this was the case all along, and that, well, they're just trying to sweep some of the edges under the rug.
Yep.
Now, again, can't prove any of this, hard and fast. This is just a theory.
He said hard and fast.
But you know what I mean, though.
But it looks that way, and realistically, that's bad enough.
And again, going back to the prison school thing, I think the biggest thing that caught my was not even the line itself. It was not even the line. It was not even that. It was of course, people that like a show like this would whine about something like that.
It wasn't the line. It's the guy that wrote it clapped back.
It was also basically
he needs to have known was wrong.
Well, not even that. It's not even any of that to me. It's the fact that you're making this thing that you clearly, or not, you don't make it, but you're working on this thing that you clearly hate. Because, well, you're even saying, hey, of course, losers who like a show like this would get mad at a comment of that nature. Well, yeah. And it's just like, well, wait a minute. So you admit you hate this show.
Yeah, so what are you doing?
Why are you in this business exactly? I understand not everybody likes their job and that, some people even hate it, but they got to do it to pay the bills or whatnot. But this is one of those jobs that you really don't have to do that. It's not like working at a janitor position or in a fast food joint or something. These are things that you might have to do just to make ends meet or whatnot. But that's a very specific type of job right there.
Yeah, you have to have enthusiasm or passion for, but because.
Well, apparently not.
You could just be a failed. You could just be a failed musician.
A failed film school.
No, I was referring to the guy who did that.
Yeah.
Not that guy.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have all of this stuff happening in relative short succession.
That's the other thing that makes it look even weirder. It's not like this is far apart. These things all kind of coalesce into one sort of small kind of period.
Cubate the Third says, I remember Zeke Freak had a term for these people. Trickle-down assholes. They can't get the industry they want, so they make the industry didn't want to go into hell.
I think they're just bitter. And no, I mean, I get it.
I think these people should. If you
get another hobby,
no, if you're gonna do your job wrong, and then when called out on doing your job wrong, you're gonna clap back at the people who keep the organization that employs you in money. I don't think it's unreasonable to say that that person should have lost his job.
Well, it's really dumb biting the hand that feeds to begin with.
I don't like. I'm not the kind of person who wishes for people to be put out on the street, but at the same time, do your job.
I can think of people I wish were put out on the street. No, but that's neither here nor there.
Do you want to continue on to the other thing that you wanted to say?
More Nazi talk. Let's go.
Okay.
So there was this recent conflagration on Twitter about apparently. So we've come beyond the Moy fans or conservatives rhetoric from several people might remember from several years ago, and now Moy fans are just Nazis.
Which everything about this is funny to me, in the sense that because Nazis would totally be fans of fucking Asian pop culture entertainment.
No, but if you have a Moe avatar on Twitter,
okay, whatever. That's still stupid.
Yeah, listen. Number one, if you're concerned about Nazis in the anime fandom, sure, fine. That's cool. I think that's stupid to be concerned about, quite honestly.
It's like
sure.
It's like, are you eating enough garlic in your diet? I mean, it's not one of those questions you ask.
that's number one.
I love that.
Number two, it's very interesting to me, and I wonder when you start to bring in people's media preferences, because it's not these people are Nazis. It's not these people in the anime fandom are Nazis. It's these people in the anime fandom are Nazis, and here's what they watch.
Yeah. It's like it. I can almost see this being a technique people start to use for cigarettes or something. You know what I mean? It's just like, so and so liked cigarettes.
It's bad people like this thing. You don't want to be a bad person, do you?
Of course, but
because when you bring in the media preferences, all of a sudden it completely stops being about Nazis. Your concern is no longer about people's fascist or genocidal perspectives in the fandom, and your concern is now, okay, I get it. It's not that you're concerned about Nazis. You just don't like people who watch certain kinds of anime, and you want to portray them as Nazis because you don't like those people.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it just strikes me as and it's selectively enforced too. For an example, is like if somebody goes and knocks off a bank or robs someone's house or something, if they listen to 50 Cent or something, nobody's going to point that out.
Especially not now.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? That's not going to be somebody. It's like, oh, well, that wouldn't be okay. I mean, lots of people like 50 Cent. That's the point, jackass.
But no, and I saw so many people talking about this as if it's concern for Nazis, and I immediately saw this as for what it was, which is this is the logical conclusion of the Moe fans are conservatives line that we were hearing back when the Moe debate was real big. It's the exact. This is where it was logically meant to go.
Do you want to just say who said this on
Godwin's
Twitter?
Law. I'll absolutely say that who said this on Twitter, but give me a second. Godwin's law dictates that this was even completely 100% inevitable. So basically the story is Daryl Surratt's talking about Anime World Order's Daryl Surratt's talking about people who like anime and also like Donald Trump. Like that's his whole basis, and it extrapolated into Nazism, and now he's talking about look at their avatars and the anime they watch is all moe stuff and all that kind of stuff, and I immediately saw it as what it was. Because let's be real, to put this in perspective, this is the guy who wrote in Otaku USA 7 years ago why I must destroy moe. So this guy's been at the very least a really embarrassing, mind you, 7+ year failed crusade against moe. So this
longer is actually, because I've heard the podcast before that.
Okay, so it's which is why I say 7+ year fail. And I get it. I understand. You've been railing against this stuff for 7 years, for more than 7 years. I understand. You wrote the Otaku USA article, and you did your podcast, and you did the Vile Spectre of Moe panel. I get it. You did all this stuff. You made a good effort, but it didn't work. Moe's still a thing. So what do we do next?
You would think that
nothing we did worked. Nothing we did to vilify these people who I don't like worked. Nothing we did to push this fandom and the people who like this stuff I don't like, and the people who like this stuff I don't like into the corner, so my stuff can shine. Nothing we did to do that worked. So what's next on our plate? Well, we could either we could deal with it and maybe, just maybe, get together enough brain power to understand that, hey, there are maybe shaming isn't going to work anymore. Maybe people like what they like, and you're not going to stop that by shouting them down. Or option B, we could just call them Nazis. And we went with option B because option A is too hard and it involves introspection. It involves a live and let live attitude, and it basically involves ceasing this sad war against Moe.
I really wish you and
Daryl
would have a debate on this that I could listen to.
Why would I want to? And here's the thing: if you'd asked me that 6 months, maybe I would have been on board with it. But he just called me a Nazi. So no, I'm not gonna. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in talking to someone who thinks I'm a Nazi based on what cartoons I like. It's ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing. If you were waging a war,
we could.
Yeah, but he probably
have some introspection and talk.
Really,
and I mean, we could talk about what we like and try to promote that instead of pushing people away in the corner. But it's really hard, so we're just gonna call people Nazis. Ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing: if you have a one-man war, and it isn't one-man war, but
it's a sad
humor me though.
One-man crusade against Moe, and I'm sick.
If you have a one-man war against something like Moe, you would think you would at least go to the country of origin to try to stop it.
7 years. I haven't been on the Moe debate for 7 years, and I'm the task force MOE guy. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, and it just strikes me as
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I thought he was done.
Well, it just strikes me.
He's still on this embarrassing crusade against Moe.
It's like, dude,
since he's been on, and you freaking
dude.
Well, we read that article several episodes ago on the podcast, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to read. It reads like the manifesto of one of those people who goes and shoots people.
Oh, but no. Here you go. It's like, dude, even Jack Thompson isn't even bothering anymore. Come on.
Jack Thompson came out in defense of video games. If you watch the Sarkeesian Effect.
Well,
I don't recommend the movie, but I watched it. And Jack Thompson came out in defense of video games. Jack Thompson's not on this shit anymore, and I don't understand why Daryl Surratt is.
But my point is the same. It's like, this is a guy that actually went and tried to go to court to have this stuff, put on basically a list.
This is the level we're talking about. Jack Thompson wrote a letter that was somehow supposed to make it to the CEO of Take-Two Games' mother. That's the level of embarrassing we're talking.
But my point is,
stopped.
He's just like, whatever. I'm
still on this shit. It's embarrassing to watch. It's embarrassing to watch someone who I used to have a lot of respect for. But now he's calling people Nazis, so I can't respect that anymore. But it's embarrassing to watch someone who I used to have a lot of respect for go out on this political rampage because he doesn't like certain kinds of anime and would enjoy seeing people who do like that kind of anime vilified. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
Heat level critical.
He should be ashamed of himself.
Well, I don't know. I kind of laughed at again. But not in a haha that's funny, more in a oh geez, really? You used a Star Wars reference? The dark side of the otaku force.
The dark side of the otaku force.
Which might be funny and amusing if I was 15. Maybe. I didn't realize that, I didn't realize the force kind of worked that way, that you bring in you bring in media, and that's apparently part of this kind of yin yang thing.
I'm looking at his Twitter right now. I see a lot of political shit, which, you know what?
Of course.
I'm going to be honest. I really hate people that put their political ideology up in front, whatever it is.
He's just ass hurt that Trump won.
I just, you know what? I don't put your on social media.
Quite frankly, more people do that than anything else. So
I know that.
Well, it's like,
I don't do that.
And here's I get where VZ's coming from, because realistically, we're exposed to this shit all day from all angles.
Well, yeah.
Especially in today's environment.
You can't do anything. You can't turn on the TV, which I don't recommend you do anyway.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't watch TV.
You can't go in a bookstore without seeing somebody's face plastered on some fucking book talking about how the world is about to end. You can't go on the internet, without seeing even places like Google or wherever, basically shilling out to some specific thing. And you certainly can't go to any social media.
Yeah.
Because that's interactive, people constantly losing their shit. And for what? Because most of these people, aren't going to do anything. The ones that said they were going to move to Canada, they're all still fucking here. Which, quite frankly, I kind of wish they would have. That's the other thing. People from other countries that somehow think they can tell us what to do in terms of the way our political systems run. I find that kind of annoying too. We got to be one of them.
Here's how I look at it. That's how you know America runs the fucking world.
Oh, I know that, but at the same time, you don't hear people here going, "Oh, I hope so and so wins in Israel."
Well, that's because those countries don't run the fucking world.
Oh, and I understand that, but at the same time, there's a lot of, again, not to sound too jingoistic, flag waving, whatnot, but
jingoistic. Well, here's the thing, and we can criticize people for being jingoistic, but if all y'all's other countries are gonna continue talking about a country you don't live in, maybe that country runs the fucking world.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. We put up with a lot more shit than most other countries do, and what I mean by that is, we are stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if we do stuff, then we're the world police. And if we don't do stuff, then we're standing idly by and letting bad shit happen. We can't win. We really can't. It's true. It is.
And this hyper politicization of fandoms in general, really. Because it started with the lead up to Gamergate, and now it's hitting anime, and it's hitting anime hard.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see something similar. I used to not think so, because gaming has got its tendrils and much more money, but I don't think it's gonna be quite the same.
It's not gonna be the same. It's gonna be a lot smaller scale. That's for sure.
Anime Gate.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to call it. But
I'm not calling it Anigate.
No. But whatever you want to call it, the same idea. But here's the thing, though. I think anime fans are even more fanatical than most gamers.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We have to be.
Well, yeah, it's too small of a thing to not be somewhat fanatical about it. Because if you're not, then it slips by and you don't get what you want out of it. That's pretty much just the basic, if we didn't bother people to license shit, or send or recommend things to friends and stuff, it would be even smaller than it already is.
Like, this fandom started by, hey, we got a whole bunch of Battlestar Galactica VHS tapes. We're going to send them over to Japan, and they'll send us some Space Battleship Yamato or whatever the hell.
Whatever.
With, hey, let's send these tapes over, and so we can get this stuff not even in our language. We didn't start fan subbing till like the mid 80s or something. So we did this whole thing was built by super passionate crazy people in Japan and the US.
But it reminds me of, in the 80s, there used to be a thing that people did, I mean, in the 80s particularly, called tape trading. where
Yeah.
where people would dub cassettes of stuff that nobody had heard and send it to other people who would do the same.
Yep.
And they'd make these little lists and say, hey, do you got anything on this? And you didn't even have to be in the same room or state or anything. It was pen pals.
Yeah.
That somebody from, I don't know, Finland or wherever, again, wherever, Japan, Middle East, maybe, Scandinavia, Germany, wherever, as long as they could read it. And yeah, it's very similar. In this case, maybe even more difficult because, well, VHS probably weigh a lot more.
Well, yeah.
And so they probably cost more in terms of postage.
Yep.
Mm.
And Drawing Girl in the IRC. SJW mentality has been in the anime fandom for so long. Even when I got into anime nearly a decade ago, I saw people bitching about sexism and moe and whatnot. I knew this shit was going to happen eventually. And on my screen, I have up, in the ongoing saga of me being right, March 28th, 2015, by Time Enforcer Anubis, what gamers can teach the moe fandom. So let it be known that I'm always right. We should just all listen to whatever. Let's go back to 2011 and just do everything I said, so everyone can be better off from now. And you know what? You know what's hilarious to me? When I wrote this article, people were telling me that the same sort of Gamergate thing can't happen in the anime fandom. And now we're at a point where we're getting to where it needs to happen in the anime fandom. Well, so in the ongoing saga of me being right, just fucking listen to me. I know what I'm talking about.
To be fair, when that happened, I didn't think it would happen in the anime world because again, gaming, let's be honest, has a lot more money involved bouncing around, and because it's more global. People have been underestimating anime for years.
Well, here's another.
Anime is huge. We don't see it. Anime is the holy grail of niche interests. Where it's huge, it's massive.
I want to add.
You don't have that sort of. You don't have that public spotlight that gaming has. You don't have that public spotlight that comic books has.
Well, and other countries actually make games too, just besides Japan.
I want to add one more factoid, and then I think we should wrap it up. Yeah. The difference between the two is that unlike the gaming companies that have kind of kowtowed to some of the demands, Japan will never. Well, they're not going to say, "Oh, okay, we got to make less." They're just, at the
Visa, here's the thing: we're still in a paradigm where we're getting this stuff through other companies. So Japan might not give a damn, but Funimation might, Crunchyroll might, and that's the problem. So I don't know why you two are still arguing with me when I know I'm right. I've known I'm right since March 2015. Just listen to me.
Let me explain the worst scenario. It's like Japan will say, okay, we're not going to license the stuff to you anymore. And you know what's going to happen? Fan subbing's going to return.
But here's the thing. You don't think that's a bad paradigm?
Or uploading of stuff.
You don't think that's horrible? That's awful. You know how much that would set the anime fandom back?
Oh, I know it would, but I'm just saying.
Then why are you arguing with me?
Because
just admit I'm right, and let's actually do this.
Because it's
why can't everyone just admit I'm right? I know I'm right. What was the last thing I got wrong? Exactly. So let's just go back to 2011. Do everything I said. All right. What was the last thing I got wrong? Seriously.
That the youth bill would pass.
There you go. You got that.
That wouldn't pass rather.
That said, what did it do?
Yeah. From people on the other side say it's a little bit more damaging than we're getting out of it.
Or that the TPP was going to pass.
To be fair, that actually probably would have.
It was going to pass.
No, me either.
I never said it was going to pass.
That being said, I knew as soon as Trump won that wasn't going to happen. Just because he had said that that he really didn't like it and that he would sign an executive order.
By the way, I love the people sort of backpedaling like, oh, that the TPP was going to be a good thing.
It was going to be awful. It's if you're an anime fan, that shit should have been first on your radar as far as politics goes.
Mm-hmm. But it was a Democrat idea, so that means it's good and noble and pure. You know?
It would also outlaw some things that a lot of us enjoy. A lot of us just do straight up.
Yeah, it would fan art, dojins, AMVs.
It would cripple Comic It.
Oh yeah. That would definitely just. I mean, I know Japan said they would have had a clause or whatever to get around that or to make it to basically exempt it.
They would have had to, because
it would destroy the anime industry.
It's pivotal to the manga industry. How many mangaka came out of Comic It?
And this was, I think Mombot was actually talking about this, how bad it would be.
Yeah,
because her ties close to it, and it really did sound really bad from that side. I mean, just from what I knew about it, but I kind of wanted to see it from the other side since that's where this stuff comes from.
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of anime industry personalities, a whole bunch of mangaka rallying against this agreement because it would cripple their industry.
Creatively it would just fucking nerf it so bad.
I read the draft of the bill. It had stuff in there like so the way I interpreted these lines was like circumventing region locking in video games and whatnot that would become legally dubious. There's a whole bunch of stuff with reverse importation that was a big concern. So there was a whole lot in there that
basically if you're a fan
of anime fan, if you're a fan of Japanese media,
you would be shit without an oar.
Yeah,
up shit creek without an oar, as they say.
QA the third in the IRC, it would make what he does illegal.
It would put Hindane out of business. I know that.
Oh yeah.
Can we actually add one more addendum to this?
Oh, we can add as many addendums as you want.
All right, one more thing.
That is the word of the day.
One more thing, but let's not take too long. Because I'm going up in the comments with the chat here. I have to agree. Funimation's kind of been going downhill for a while.
It's almost like they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Compared to and it's amazing how Sentai has been stepping up their game.
Of all things.
Hey. And Nozomi with their Gundam releases.
Yep.
Which by the way, if someone wants to start me some kind of Kickstarter for me to buy all of those,
I'm starting with just the movies right now.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do because I can't afford all these sets.
I got the girlfriend build fighters for Christmas.
And the fact that they're not slowing down at all and they're just boom, 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 boom is just killing me.
They're just hammering these things out. It's like, dog, slow down.
I need to be able to get money to pay for these things.
I would probably. I mean, I'm mostly doing stuff like the movies and OVAs, but I
did pick up the DVDs of X.
Good call.
I would get maybe down the line the first season of Build Fighters.
That's a good call because the first season of Build Fighters is so amazing.
Maybe I don't know, but I kind of like Reconquista and G.
Oh, I 100% plan on getting Reconquista.
Right. Okay. I think we've kind of let this kind of go a little too long.
So in conclusion, I'm right. Always
learn to deal.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is sheslosscontrol.net/podcast. You can check out VZ stuff at vzmk2 moymekegatai.wordpress.com. In addition, check out Nyan the magazine at sheslostcontrol.net/NYAAN. Check out Otaku Midnight because they're really good. Check out the Bakegaijin show because they're really good. Check out Iyashike.moe as well as Shinikiba.moe for all your half-naked anime figures.
I'm sorry. I don't. Have you? You've never used that one yet, have you?
No, I've used that for the past like 3 shows.
Man, where am I? But I've got a funny way to roll us out. I gotta.
All right.
So I've got one.
You can check us out on Twitter. I am at TEAnubis. VZ is at VZMK2. And KGods is at LazyErica00. I'm Tom Force Anubis.
I'm KGods.
I'm VZ Mark II.
And even though Anubis forgets to tell people to go into the chat, this is NTR Radio.